What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Dermy's daily. Well, not daily. It's not daily. Trust me. This is not a daily show, okay? And anybody that says that it's a daily show hasn't been listening to me, okay? I am not doing a daily show. This is just the third day in a row that I've done this show so far, but it's mainly because there's not a whole lot to talk about right now. Gotta be real honest with you. The inauguration really just sucked the energy out of the room, and this is some other stuff that I don't really want to do full-fledged videos on, so I just want to talk about on streams and stuff right now. That's the main reason I've been doing this every single day since Monday, but shut up. Anyways, I will say this is the last time this show will be on this channel, okay? So for any and all of you out there that are watching this, I'll say this again earlier in the stream. In fact, I still need to go grab the link to the other channel. Give me one moment, and I'm gonna mute Spotify in my ears because I don't like listening to that. Oh, excuse me. Dermy Wormy Live. Yes, this fuck. This will be the channel that we actually put this on as after today. This will be where this show will be on. This will be the main outlet of where this show is. I used to put stuff over there all the time. I used to stream over there all the time. I'm trying to bring that back, in particular of just doing like my streaming content over there, other than Ballbusters and Saturday Charity, even though I might move Saturday Charity over there as well, especially since I'm going to be doing longer Saturday Charities starting this week. So that will be something to, you know, watch out for and engage with and check out. But that is going to be the main hub of like my solo streaming. It's going to be over there. It's going to be on Kick. It's going to be on Twitch. At one point in time, I'm not going to lie, it's also going to be on Rumble. But I screwed up my Rumble connection with my restream, so I just gave up on Rumble, to be brutally honest with you. But that is going to be where I put that from now on. So Legatus, if you're in the chat, if you could recycle that link every so often, I would greatly appreciate it. But for the rest of you here, before we go too far into the Destiny stuff, because the Destiny stuff's going to take a little while, and I would like more people to kind of pile on in before I hop into that. And by the way, Jug Draco, shout out to you over on Kick. I hope well, I'm having a better day now that I'm not at work, but that's a discussion for another time. But anyways, before we get too far into this, okay, before we move too far along the way, we got some more Goonergate news to go over. And for those of you who don't fully remember some of the Goonergate news, let me actually pull this up first. One of the big players within Goonergate, besides Melanie Mac and all the other individuals that are a part of this, has been John Della Rose. And now, for those of you who don't always remember who John Della Rose is, John Della Rose is currently one of the leading individuals over at Fandom Pulse. And just the other day, we discovered that John Della Rose is super anti-gay, mainly because he's a furry. He's a gay furry. He loves the gay furries. And this is something that we discovered yesterday on all this. I've not checked out the Razorfist farms. I have my own sources on the Razorfist stuff. Static, it's bad on Razorfist stuff, but those are, from what I can tell, mainly accusations that I don't want to get into. Just because I don't know what's all going on there. I can look at it. I've seen some stuff, but I'm being careful on the Razorfist stuff. That's why I haven't talked about this. But John Della Rose openly doing this. He's been beefing with everybody from Smash JT, Hypnotic, going even as far as even attacking. Stop following me, Legatus. Shut up. Oh wait, you're talking to this. Shut up, all of you. Anyways, we've been going over this, but he recently tried to make nice though. He tried to make nice with Smash JT. Had a great chat with Smash JT earlier. Everything is good. We have a huge opportunity to really end the woke mind virus once and for all, and we are making progress. As a community, we need to focus on what matters and removing the real enemy of DEI and gaming. Hashtag in Kotaku. And you know, you would think this is a good take. You would think that this is a good thing, right? We all would think that this is a good thing. Okay? The reality is, this is John De La Rosa's tactics, and Smash JT saw right through it. My stance has not changed at all, and this tweet is disingenuous at best. We chatted. I'm willing to hear people out saying everything is good. LOL, what WTF? Okay, my guy. This whole situation is weird AF. If acknowledging you via DMs is enough for everything to be good, then okay. And not just that, Smash, I think it's right here, decided to then record a video, and we'll listen to this video, and I'm gonna turn off Spotify real quick. This is what Smash JT had to respond to John De La Rose with, which is just hilarious in my opinion.
I find it curious that John De La Rose seemed to think that DMing me was going to be a good idea to try to resolve the...
Real quick, I do want to watch this. I find these walking and talking videos to be some of the most cringiest things out there. I despise them. I get why people do them, but I hate them. Okay? But that's besides the point.
This conflict, like, that's not how this works. You are a weirdo, furry, Christian zealot that's trying to inject censorship in all places, especially video games and banning pornography. And you stand for a lot of things that I don't stand for. And you know what? That's fine. You're welcome to your position, just like anyone else is welcome to their other positions. It's fine. It's totally fine. And we're talking about it, debating it publicly. And you, objectively, we're getting your ass kicked publicly.
If anybody denies that John De La Rose wasn't getting his ass kicked, or any of these Goonergate people weren't getting their asses kicked over and over again, because nobody was on their side outside of a handful of weird zealots, you're laughing. But I love how he just keeps destroying him.
So then you come into DMs and start talking to me, and I'm busy actually, you know, doing work and covering shit. Don't have time to deal with your bullshit that you're throwing out there. Whatever, it is what it is. I acknowledge you. We chat briefly, ever so briefly, and I just acknowledge you. And then you just go spout that everything's fine, we're good, we resolved it behind the scenes, and we chatted and we're good. Bro, why do you come to my DMs when you're getting your asses kicked to you publicly? Like coming to my DMs and then trying to pretend like you somehow won and we came to some sort of agreement? That didn't happen. This is some sort of like false fantasy reality that you're living in. Nothing changed, dude. You still stand for these things that I strongly disagree with, and I am going to be fighting against that just as much as I fight against the wokies. So it is what it is, man.
Which, you know, isn't a bad thing, but the thing is, John De La Rose lied. He openly lied. And even Savvy responded to this and even pointed it out. You too? Did he answer a single question, or did he just repeat himself that he's totally being canceled? I could tell his sole purpose was not to hear anything out, but instead to do everything he could to turn the convo in his favor by any means possible. Yep, he tried some very low IQ tactics with me, and for the first time, and I've talked to some extremist leftists, I felt like I truly had wasted my time. And here's the thing. I've tried to publicly discuss stuff with John De La Rose too. I've publicly tried to have a back and forth with him on Twitter. And he always does the same bullshit. he always reverts things around and tries to spin it around. And it's like people can openly see what's going on here, and you're retarded. You're not clever at all. You are openly just retarded. And it's so easy and plain to point out when people can easily go like, hey, answer these questions here. And your response is, I want to ban porn. Why didn't you? Okay, why didn't you answer the questions I just laid out to you? Why didn't you answer any of these things? I want to ban porn. Are you like, is the repeat button stuck or something? Like, why are you constantly repeating the same statement? I want to ban porn. Okay, nobody gives a fuck. Then address all these other things. I want to ban porn. That's all he has. But on top of that, John Della Rose is openly retarded. I've already said that, but again, because he decided to respond to Hypnotic yesterday by openly saying, bro, stop scrolling Fandom Pulse for content, then canceling us, lol. Your whole channel is just you stealing John Trent's content, and now you're not even sourcing us when you do. Which, okay, yeah, source them properly, acknowledge you're taking it from Fandom Pulse, and acknowledge you're taking it from John F. Trent. The thing is, John, nobody goes to Fandom Pulse for you. Well, Della Rose, John, okay, JDA, not JFT. JDA, nobody goes to Fandom Pulse for you. They're all there solely for John F. Trent. The moment Trent left that Park Place, Fandom Pulse skyrocketed because people like John F. Trent. He is very timely. He is very informative, and people want to support him, not you. You are riding off his coattails now, 100%. Nobody is using that site for you. And for you, one, to say stop scrolling and quit using our content, that's kind of screwed up and makes me want to not use your content anymore. And I was already debating not using your guys' content anymore. I'm solely supporting Fandom Pulse for Trent. I disagree with John F. Trent a lot, but at least he stands on principles and his beliefs, and I can be okay with that. I don't want anything to do with you, and I'm seriously thinking of canceling my subscription, especially when Smash just points out the truth. This guy is proactively trying to implode his whole business. Accusing YouTubers of stealing your website's content is a surefire way to fast track that. In contrast, I always highly encourage any and all YouTubers to please feel free to source smashjt.com for content. And here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. John F. Trent has actively used Smash JT's content. Fandom Pulse will actively use Smash JT's content. They have actively used Hypnotic's content. They have actively used other people's content for their website. So why the hell are you now attacking everybody else who has helped made you popular because you're mad at them? Doesn't make sense. It makes me want to end this, but to finish off the John Della Rose segment, here's a tweet from last year, about July of last year. Guess I know why they don't seem to like me too much at Geeks and Gamers, as he actively tries to throw Shaban under the fence and attack Shaban. Shaban's a sweetheart. Yeah, she's a lefty. Yeah, she's gay. Nobody gives a crap. She's a sweetheart. She's one of the sweetest individuals on the face of the earth. But that's how John Della Rose wants to play it, okay? He wants to make you think that you don't like him because you agree with the gays. No, Jeremy called him out. Again, this was back in July. John, years ago, you talked major shit about me. I never responded. A few months ago, you sent me a private message apologizing, and I told you I accept. Then you started asking me to collab with you and your new website because I had all these resources that you don't have. I tried to be nice about it and just let you know that I had a lot of going on, and that we could talk later. You then followed back up with me months later, and I nicely said no. Feel free to drop our DMs if you want. Now you're playing a fake victim because you have nothing else to go on. Truth is, I don't trust you and I don't like you. You play whatever side gets you attention, and everyone knows that. You believe in nothing. I was just being nice in private to avoid conflict. Go cry about this now. Nobody cares. I think that's the final death nail. Me just re-bringing this up because this is an important thing. John stands for nothing. He has no principles. He has no beliefs. He will backstab anybody that he can or side with anybody that he can to try to promote himself all the time. John Della Rose is nothing more than a slimy, scummy pile of human filth who has no true values except I want to promote myself the entire time. Again, bro hates gays, but is an closeted homosexual. All closeted furry homosexual. Jesus Christ. But that's enough of that. I saw that kind of popping off just a little bit ago before I went live, and I wanted to just comment on that because fuck John Della Rose. Fuck him. Like seriously, outside of Phantom Pulse, okay? I know at least Adam was in the chat. Outside of Phantom Pulse, what does John Della Rose actually do? Actually, scratch that. I'll open up Phantom Pulse right now. I'll open up Phantom Pulse right fucking now. Okay. How many of these articles? Holy fucking shit. John F. Trent, Dragon Age: The Veilguard EP reports EA is cutting BioWare staff. John F. Trent, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 bans players from questioning transgender propaganda. Fandom Pulse, who I don't know who wrote this particular one. It just says from Fandom Pulse. J.K. Rowling makes a hilarious response to her transgender activist trying to tie her to Adolf Hitler. The furry stuff was about a comic he was creating, wasn't it? I have no idea. There's no context. All I know is he... static. Okay, static. Again, I'm going to... How can you say... it? Hail Yif Master. I'm sorry. You don't have this much furry stuff if you're gonna be doing this. There's also tweets of him saying praise Lucario's back hole. You're gay at that point. I'm sorry, but let's go back over there. Okay, John F. Trent's right here. I don't know who wrote this one. If this is JDA, but this just says Phantom Pulse, so I don't know. John F. Trent, Phantom Pulse, John F. Trent, Phantom Pulse, John F. Trent, John F. Trent, Phantom Pulse. We could just scroll through this and we see more John F. Trents than John Della Rose's ever. John Della Rose, the only time I ever see him actually write an article, it's about board games. That's it. Everything else is always John F. Trent. Phantom Pulse is John F. Trent. It's nobody else. Let's be real clear about this. So John Della Rose trying to act like, well, I'm also at Phantom Pulse. Nobody's there for you. They're there for Trent. Because they like John F. Trent. They can disagree with him and still think that he does great reporting. JDA has always been a piece of shit ever, even back when CG was legitimate and he was arching them. He was a part, I forgot about this. He was a part of War Campaign. He'll deny it, but he was a part of War Campaign. He was all up in that shit. And I found old tweets to prove that shit. So, yeah, he was pro War Campaign. But, okay. I think we've had enough of the primer as more people keep hopping on in. I also need to quickly check my DMs. Okay, yep. We've had enough of the primer, so why don't we... shite! I keep hitting the wrong buttons. Let's get into the real stuff. So, for context on the Destiny situation that's been going on, and yes, I'm going to keep the Pokemon music playing because, fuck it, I want to. For context, about November, December, somewhere around there, we had a massive Destiny leak in which people were making fun of certain DMs that were coming out, and then we ended up seeing, well, Destiny sucking off a tiny fat person's eggplant. we'll say, because we're still early in the stream. And yes, these all came out, and it was because Destiny was in communications with one of his many fans slash e-girls, and he was trying to convince her to sleep with him. Not making any of this up. So his ways to try to convince her to sleep with him was to comment about his sex life and send pictures and videos of other people he slept with and did things with. How that convinces girls to sleep with you, I don't know, but apparently it works for Destiny. Jesus Christ. But anyways, so moving forward a little bit, the girl he was trying to rizz up with the leaks, by the way, hail JS Pena. The girl he was trying to rizz up with the leaks, and hail Cash Kester, she got hacked. Okay? That's how we got all this information, is because the girl that he was sending the stuff to got hacked. And now we have all this information. Turns out that one of the girls that, was having images shared of her wasn't too fond of it. And this brings us over here to this. This comes from Pixie. Pixie apparently is a Destiny Orbiter, or was a Destiny Orbiter. She appeared in some of his content from time to time, did collaborations. She's a YouTuber apparently. I don't know too much about her. I do believe she is a leftist YouTuber. She's done work for Progressive Victory and stuff like that, so take that as you will. But she said, oh no, here, I'll even scroll in real quick. Oh, too much. On November 29th, the streamer Destiny non-consensually shared my inappropriate pictures, making me a victim of revenge porn. I will be suing him in federal court. Here is my story. And we come right on over here. I think this is the same one. Yeah, this is the link to her Substack. No thanks, which I already have it pulled up here. But anyways, I will be suing Stephen Kenneth Bunnell II. And no, this is Bunnell, not Burnell, okay? Burnell is DSP. This is Bunnell Destiny. I know, it sounds very similar. On November 29th, I learned that the streamer Destiny had non-consensually shared pornographic content of me online. My dignity, peace of mind, and hopes for the future were stripped away in a mere matter of seconds following the betrayal of someone I previously trusted. I'm at least the third person he has done this to. I hope to be the last. I will not be commenting on the experiences of the other women he has hurt, as it is not my place or story to tell. I will, however, share my story in hopes of preventing this from occurring. Now, some people are trying to debate on who the other two people were. One of them is Lauren Southern, who is more than likely the second woman. And then the earlier woman is somebody from much earlier in Destiny's career that accused him of doing this, and Destiny got away scot-free. Not even making that one up. Even Turkey Tom acknowledged that that happened, and he knew that it happened. And I'm just sitting here like, you all knew that he did this, and you still were streaming with him. What the fuck? But okay. Oh, where was I? Oh, yeah. I have known Destiny for around 5 to 6 years now, and often find myself in heavy disagreement with him. Despite this, I do my best to see the best sides of people, trying my hardest to spread positivity and create understanding where I can. It's corny, but I want to meet people where they are and focus on which ways we can build bridges together towards a better future for everyone. So people call this a fault of mine. Some people call this a fault of mine. They claim I am naive and should be more careful. Those people are right. When I was 19, over 5 years ago, I was extremely sexually inexperienced and sheltered, being severely terrified of leading someone on or SA. I thought I could trust Destiny, who I had multiple long conversations with regarding consent and boundaries. What the fuck? So you can imagine my surprise when I discovered he distributed pornographic content of me without my consent. Yes, you read that right. Stephen Kenneth Bennell II sent pornographic content of me to random 19-year-old e-girl Discord kitten whom he had never met before, and then she published it the whole world. Rest assured, despite never having met her, he at least spoke to her plenty of times on the phone. If this is how you riz people up nowadays, I'm doing everything wrong, apparently. Apparently, I'm supposed to be sending inappropriate messages the entire time. Jesus freaking Christ. Why? Here's a thing. Okay, you've never met this person in real life, but you've spoke to them plenty of times on their phone. Why on earth would you, one, send that stuff to them in the first place? Never met them before. Not once. You don't even know who they are. Why would you send a picture of your junk to them? Explain that. And Destiny, who's literally one of the largest streamers in existence, why? Why? Can somebody make this make sense? You've never met this person before. Oh. Yep. There we go. Why would you do that? Like, seriously, you don't think people are out there wanting to send this stuff all over the place? Now, this particular person got hacked. She didn't spread it all over the world. But yes, why, Destiny? You're 30-some years old. Why do you even think you need to be doing this to random people? Jesus fucking Christ. Of course, this is what he says happened. I think it is just as likely that he used her as a proxy to widely distribute this material while claiming deniability. I do not understand why Destiny would knowingly and willingly put me in a position where I would receive non-stop SA and harassment. If we believe him, he was trying to impress a barely legal teenager using my body and my privacy. You know what? I have some more stuff to point this stuff out, but that's the thing that still doesn't make sense to me. And I've already hit on this point. Why? Seriously, so somebody answer me this. Somebody in the chat right now, try to make this make sense. Why would you think that this works? Like, okay, let's say for the sake of argument, Cash is trying to rizz up Adam, okay? I don't know why he would, but this is just for the sake of argument. So Cash's way to rizz up Adam is to send explicit images of Cash and another girl, a guy, and other things like that to this girl to rizz her up, to convince her to sleep with him. Why would you do that? Well, Cash, you were the first one in chat that I could see, so I had to do it. But why? Why would you do that? Why is this the idea that you have? Like, even if I do this, like, and I see Static's laughing. Even if I do this with like dioramas, okay? Let's say, okay? Actually, no, I'll even take Baby Bell. Okay. So, in my example, here, we'll even solo this real quick. We'll solo this. Okay? Piccolo here wants to rizz up Frieza, okay? So his way to rizz up Frieza and to get Frieza to, you know, bend over to do that and whatever crazy shit is he sends Frieza images of, one, himself stark ass naked, but two, him doing stuff with Aggron, okay? And in this situation, Aggron's a girl, so he's doing stuff with Aggron. Then in another situation, he's doing stuff with Aggron and Exodia, who in this case is also a girl. So they're doing like the devil's triangle. Well, actually not the devil's triangle, but they're doing the triangle thing and, you know, doing all that stuff. And then in another situation, he's, you know, doing stuff with with Baby Mario, and you can't really see him that well. And in this situation, well, Baby Mario, Baby Bowser, and Bowser Jr. or whatever. And in this situation, Bowser Jr. is a boy. You send this all to a girl to try to get her, well, in this instance, Frieza, to do naughty no-no stuff with you. Why? What? Why? Somebody make this make sense. Am I just not this leftist, brain-rotten individual who's like, hey, you know what? I touch grass for a living. I have a real-life job. I go outside a whole lot. I deal with the real world a whole lot. I would never in a million years think that the smart idea to rizz up a girl is to send them videos of me having sexual relations with anybody else. What the fuck? Like, seriously. What the fuck? And the thing is, that's what happened. Oh, but by the way, okay, don't remember who has the leaks. I have some of the videos pulled up that we will go over at least one of them. Because the other one I don't want to deal with because the guy is just super freaking biased against Destiny in any and all ways. But somewhere in the leaks, Destiny openly admits to hitting a guy up on Grindr and secretly recording the dude while Destiny does stuff to him. And if my memory from the leak is correct, Destiny wasn't the top. Why would you admit to any of this stuff? Is the first thing. Okay, that's the thing. I keep finding myself going like, why? I don't understand why Destiny knowingly and willingly put me in the position where I would receive I already read that. The betrayal coupled with the hundreds of messages I received filled with SA or sexual harassment and abuse have left me feeling hopeless and devoid of almost all happiness. Now, to be very clear here, when it comes to Pixie, she is, as far as I can tell, a very depressed individual that does struggle with some of those thoughts of, bad no-no stuff. So there will be conversations about stuff like that. So, be very careful here. And I will try to bring this up because, yeah, she struggles with that stuff. It is kind of dark. The only thing that has kept me going is the hope that I can bring this man to justice and have him face legal consequences for his actions. For the past month, I have been speaking to a lawyer about my situation and what to do, and have decided this is the best course of action. I will be suing him for violating U.S. Federal Code 15 USC 6851, civil action relating to disclosure of intimate images and for publication of private facts in Florida. I will be seeking emotional and punitive damages for his actions. I have been told that a court case like this could potentially cost over tens of thousands of dollars. I'm terrified. I mean, this guy talks about potentially suing Hassan as if for fun, and Hassan actually has the resources to defend himself. I can't imagine what he might try to do to me in this process. Sometimes I wonder if he does this as an intimidation tactic. I wonder if he is purposely trying to put fear into my heart when he casually talks about throwing money into a lawsuit with a multi-millionaire who he can fight back. Oh, who can fight back? As if it's an indirect flaunt/warning over his capabilities of outspending me in whatever legal case I throw at him. Now, what I will say is I don't think this is a target towards you. If you are reading that as a target towards you, you do have some other issues you need to be working out. But I get the idea. It is terrifying to do anything like against somebody like Destiny, who has all these resources, who has the ability to just do shit. Like, that dude's freaking rich right now. He got that way by being one of the largest political content creators on the market. Like, yeah, you're gonna be going up an uphill battle here, but okay. At the request of my friends, I have been encouraged to link my gifts and go regarding this case here. I hope that we can raise enough for me to legally succeed. And last I checked, her target for the gifts and go, where was it? It was more than $25,000 last I heard. But as it stands right now, it is sitting at $15,000. If somebody wants me to put the link in the chat, I will. I might fund it just for shits and giggles. I'm not lying. For shits and giggles aspects, I might throw some money towards it. But there's the link. Whoever the next Joe Rogan on the left is, it can't be someone that crosses sexual boundaries, violates consent, and puts women's well-being and safety at risk. Crowdfunding, this is weird. So I could understand crowdfunding parts of this. I could, especially with considering some of these legal actions and stuff. And I'm not opposed to crowdfunding lawsuits in some situations. I was actually, before the cocaine shit, okay, before the cocaine, I was actually pro even Nick Rekieta crowdfunding parts of his lawsuits and legal actions. So I don't have a problem with crowdfunding. If she had something she could show a lawyer and maybe have a lawsuit that the lawyer could clean up on. So we'll get into this static as time goes on. I don't have the case yet. I don't have the filing yet. When the filing comes out, I might even ask Brad to come on to help out just with some of the discussions around it, because it would be nice to have an actual lawyer from Florida talk about this, because this would actually be an interesting case for him to follow, because he's in this jurisdiction and it covers some stuff that he used to deal with. So that would be nice to actually see him cover. But like, as far as I'm seeing right now, from what the claims are and everything, it's a relatively solid case, especially when you look at like Destiny's response, which I do have. It's not good for Destiny. Okay, he can't wiggle his way out of this one. This is pretty fucked up what is being alleged here. And to be honest, I think he's cooked. It can't be someone who puts women in positions where they will be sexually abused and harassed. It concerns me that Destiny has been interviewing potential DNC chairs candidates such as Marianne Williamson or Marty O'Malley, who have no idea what he's done. As time passes and he tries to position himself to have interviews with increasingly powerful figures such as Zelensky, I can't help but be filled with fear that Destiny might continue to succeed despite facing no repercussions for his actions. If the Democratic Party wishes to succeed in the future, it can't be a party that accepts the sexual exploitation of women. It can't be a party that allows men like Destiny to break into the mainstream. For allowing him access to such spaces would be a direct endorsement of his behavior. Now, parts of this, when I first was reading this, obviously I was like, oh my god, Destiny's in it. And then you start hearing more and more, and you listen to some of the people that were coming out about this. Lofty Fairy, I'm disappointed in Destiny. I liked him. Well, you probably would have. I mean, even Lofty liked Destiny, but like, part of the reason why I'm also like Destiny's cooked on this is some of the people that have been discussing this, like Turkey Tom, have openly said, yeah, he's cooked. And Turkey Tom wanted Destiny to be his E-daddy, for crying out loud. And if Turkey Tom's out here being like, yeah, the dude's cooked, like this is screwed up, there's not a lot you can do with like things like this going on with your life, you're pretty much over. If he's saying it and he's believing what's being said, because I mean, we saw the leaks, we all knew this happened. I'm on the position of I don't see how Destiny could wiggle himself out of this. Even Turkey Tom can't defend him. And Turkey Tom openly said there's a lot of people leaving Destiny's side, and there's some evidence that people are leaving Destiny's side, including people like Nicholas DeOrio. There's another individual that has openly said that he's basically leaving Destiny's side. Like there's some screwed up shit that came out here. And again, it goes to the whole point. Why would you ever even send these? Why do you think that this is a smart idea? I have been told that the payout might not be worth the harassment and attention I will receive. In an ideal world, I would do this privately, but have been told there is no realistic way the court will grant me anonymity. This means my only option is public. I have been told by a variety of people to not go public. I have been told by some people that Steven really does feel sorry, but I am not inclined to believe them, especially taking into a consideration his actions regarding me. Regardless, what Destiny did is unacceptable, and I believe he will do this again unless if he faces justice. Let me be clear. Destiny has violated federal law in this transgressions against me. In his transgressions against me, he has violated my consent and is directly responsible for the SA I have received. I'm terrified. Evidence log and Destiny apologies to me. Right here. Ugh, there shouldn't be no. Ugh, there shouldn't be no. I'm no sorry. Wait. Ugh, there shouldn't be no. I'm so sorry. There's literally zero excuse. I'd had phone convos and stuff with this person. They were fairly close to me. It's worthless to say it at this point, but I'm super sorry. There's literally no excuse. I won't say or confirm anything about them. If there's any particular action or thing I could do, just let me know. Somebody just, no, that was pregame. Then we have Destiny downplaying the pain I felt in my concerns. Pixie, by the way, why the heck are you even dressed like this? Jesus Christ. It's more complicated than that. I feel like there's no justice for what's been done. I feel like people for the rest of my life are going to try to send it to my family or workplace or whatever, wherever I go. I feel extremely violated with how so many people saw me non-consensually in a vulnerable position. I feel like people are always going to use this as proof that I slept my way into whatever achievement I garner. I feel like it's evidence that everything would be better with me gone. And again, Pixie does struggle with ideations of self-harm. If you do struggle with that, I feel for you. I've had my own fair shares of issues. I don't really talk about it because I don't want to talk about it. But people like that, I actually do feel for, and I have my own sympathies for that. And it's fucked up. And apparently Pixie's one of the people that are like that. So I do feel for her in this situation. I think the number of people who know or even keep up with it enough to go after you on this is probably almost zero. I think people hate others involved, me, Lauren, Nick, LOL, way, way, way more, and it overshadows everything a lot more. As for any achievements or anything like that, the majority of the work and stuff you've done has been completely independent from me anyway. So the only people who would say anything like that are people who would have said ish like that anyway and aren't worth the time. Yeah, I mean, I get why you're trying to say that, especially with the context of her having ideations of harm and things like that. I'm trying to step around some YouTube censors, so follow me here. But at the same time, people were assuming it was her apparently in your guys' sphere. Apparently, big commentary channels that knew this, people that were in the Destiny sphere, a lot of people were figuring out that Pixie was involved in all this. People like me who doesn't know who a single, like, other than Destiny, who any of the other girls were. I in fact thought one of them was actually going to be his wife, who is also being who is also alleging some malpractice from Destiny. I thought some of those was his wife. No, apparently a lot of people knew that it was Pixie and those things. So Destiny offering to pay some bills, I guess, to try to make me feel better. I'm sorry, is water bill being paid going to make me feel okay about the lifelong trauma I've received? And we come right on over here. This feels super lame, and I don't at all want to imply that somehow just giving you money helps anything go away or fixes everything for you. But if you have any bills or owe money on anything or have any financial stuff I can help with, I can at the very least chip in and help with any of that. So it's at least one less thing you have to worry about or stress over while you're worrying and getting through this. Now, I have gone back and I've been looking over this stuff all day, and I don't see how this doesn't come off as Destiny trying to pay for her silence, or trying to silence her, or at least trying to give money to make her feel better in some way or make her not want to do anything. And before you say that I'm jumping to a conclusion there, I do, and I don't know if we'll have time to get to this one in particular, but this is Turkey Tom doing an actual interview with one of the people involved in this situation, a Rudite, who is apparently a co-host on Destiny's podcast, and even she says it can come off as somebody trying to silence her. It can do that. It's easy to see that because a lot of people are taking it that way. And her argument, and again, I'll try to get to this as fast as I can. If not, I will save it for maybe Saturday Charity before everything comes out. But her argument essentially is he was just trying to do a nice gesture because he didn't know how to help her out because she was dealing with ideations at the time. I'm sorry, I don't see how you don't have that. I don't see how people can't look at this and not think that, you know, trying to pay you off. I don't see that. And I know it's one screenshot, but again, I'm going to try to go through all this stuff right now. So, but we come over here. Here's the link to the fundraiser. Also, if you're a leftist who has talked about this situation without so much contacting me, you owe me an apology. On top of being a victim of revenge porn, I now have to deal with people lying about my dating life and further dehumanization of me. Now, some people have already, I believe in this interview, they actually addressed who this could be in reference to. I don't remember. But it also could potentially be in reference to the person that actually broke all this, President Sunday over here, who's, again, I'm not going to go through his fucking video on it because it's insane what he tried to allege. And I want to get like one particular moment because he apparently interviewed Nicholas Diorio, or he contacted Nicholas Diorio, recorded the conversation, and Nick didn't know that it was being recorded, and he has been leaking the conversation ever since. President Sunday has a major hate boner for Destiny and is just insane to an extreme degree, and it's so biased of what he was saying. But we come back over here to Pixie's last thing. I know I shouldn't elaborate more, but I think one of the worst parts of what happened is learning how so many people I genuinely thought were my friends are so easily and willing to betray me. I don't understand what I've done to them to make them want to treat me like this. So from here, I know President Sunday has a video on this because he's the one that actually started all this up, but I want to come over here to this video from Cope and Seeth. I don't remember the dude's name off the top of my head, but he has a very good rundown of all the information and all the stuff that's going on here. And I'm going to turn off Spotify again, and we will be running through this real quick because this is actually a good, like, here's a buttloads worth of DMs and stuff. So again, this is Cope and Seeth. I don't remember the dude's freaking real name, but let's go. Oh, by the way, this dude sounds like Disparu, and I'm pretty sure he's just a ginger Disparu. How can I just jump forward?
Those of you who have been following Destiny in his orbit for a while may have started to notice a rift forming.
Destiny can help you with the slandering. I'd rather not.
In late November, a leak occurred which revealed, shall we say, a lot of Destiny's personal history. There has been massive speculation about the people involved in those leaks, whether the sharing of them was consensual, and people's both public and private reactions to them. What I have for you today is a breakdown of the conversation that occurred between President Sunday and Straighterade. This includes multiple DM leaks between the parties involved, and conversations of the general strategies being taken. But first, let me explain to you why I'm prepared to release these at all. When I went looking for these DMs, having heard about them on the grapevine from a couple of sources, I'll be honest, what I found was two separate individuals who had received them independently, and for one of them, they were pretty far down the chain. Now,
I will say this, apparently this was going on behind the scenes within Destiny's orbit for, let's say, ever since the leaks came out, and people have been talking about it behind the scenes for a long time, and nobody talked about it because Pixie did not want this information out there. It only came out now, and this whole thing has basically been spiraling out now ever since President Sunday made the video and just leaked everything and said, yeah, Pixie was involved, and it was Pixie. And I'm not even lying, President Sunday accused Pixie of trying to extort Destiny. It's weird. Way slower than Disbrew. Well, I'm okay. To be fair, okay, I'm biased against the Brits, so shut up.
Level of knowledge involving these leaks is,
and I cranked it up to 1.25 because he does talk a little slow.
Debatable. Though at this point, I will say, of all the people who aren't directly involved in these
Hey,
events,
Seal Hunter,
I probably have one of the fullest pictures. The story I want to tell you isn't really the story of Destiny. Rather, what I want to display is the machine that exists around him. Because, to be clear, that machine around him is already being exposed.
Hi everyone. So Lonabox has announced that he is quitting YouTube, and he gave a bit of an iffy answer for that. Like he said, it was in part because he was supposedly harassed and smeared by me and Hassan. But I actually found out the real reason just now, and it's that Destiny cucked him. His girlfriend cheated on him with Destiny.
And this drip.
When it comes to Bad Empanada, that's another breadtuber awful human being. So take that as you will. But why the fuck would you ever let Destiny anywhere near your wife or girlfriend? That Jesus Christ.
Drip feed of information is causing so much speculation from everybody that regardless of what anybody's original intentions were, it has created more of an air of mystery, speculation, and interest than was ever needed. On November the 29th, 2024, President Sunday would reach out to Straighterade regarding the Destiny leaks.
Okay, so we'll just read through some of these. President Sunday. So I don't know if you're following this, but someone dumped all the sax tapes Destiny leaked on Kiwi Farms. I didn't look, but people saying Pixie's in one. Maybe check on her and make sure she's okay. And then you got Straighterade saying, "Oh God." What's the other thing? I'll see.
And
what's
ask her
up,
to check in on Pixie.
Yeah.
As even at that point, people were beginning.
Oh God, we'll see what's up. It's a lot. I just saw what do I do? What if she's with her family? I don't want to send her that and then she full on panic and can't even be on her own. Voice call, as in I should ask if she can talk. No, I mean let's talk over voice game plan this. KK, give me a minute.
To speculate that it was her in the images. They then begin discussing the situation and how best to move forward with informing Pixie, which leads to an hour-long call in which Sunday provides further context around the leaks themselves.
Okay, so then we got, no, seriously, take your time, not a panic on my end. Yeah, you told me before. Okay, call me. Okay, they do the call. Calling, LOL, WTF, connection. Hey, I appreciate your message. Truly, none of this is your fault. Honestly, it's mine. I really, really enjoy your company. I've never engaged with a mind like yours at the... Oh, shit. That's the Lauren Southern. Yeah, Lauren and Tiny. Yeah, that's the Lauren Southern stuff. And there's more of the information that I can't click
and
on.
Other people Destiny may have been involved with. This also includes a conversation between Lav and Pixie, which occurred.
Deeply unpopular woman. Why would you lie about me sleeping with Steven? You are disgusting and you've enabled a male abuser. Have fun. I still don't understand how he abused you, and it's because you're effing stupid. Who's Wait, deeply unpopular woman. I think this is. I'm trying to figure out who's who. I think this is Pixie and this is okay.
Occurred during the Mr. Girl saga, where Pixie denied sleeping with Destiny when confronted by Lav. Pixie would then go private, much to the frustration of both Sunday and Straighter Aid, both of them realizing that in some ways this was just a confirmation that it was indeed her to those who were speculating.
Oh, shite. I just want to go back to read some of these. Because
Lav. Pixie would then go
okay, so yeah, this is them going private. Well, she did the worst thing possible.
Private, much to the frustration of both Sunday and Straighter Aid, both of them realizing that
hey, I really don't want to pry. Some stuff came out. Well, right, Pixie. WRT Pixie. I don't know what that means. I don't want to talk about it anywhere, but just asking if you're aware. What do I do? Just say yes, as in, yeah, I'm aware. Say nothing. Give him a night to possibly think to say something else. Tomorrow say yes and ask why. That's my advice. Reason being is that everybody at the moment, I think, Jesus fucking Christ. Just JSTLK. What the fuck is this? Jesus, fuck you. Is weirdly one of the few in trust at the moment. I agree. Even if he's doing it cynically, lol.
That in some ways, this was just a confirmation that it was indeed her to those who were speculating. Outside of these two, the wider rumor mill was obviously already spinning.
Okay, this was posted in the Sugar and Spice Discord. I don't know what it means or what to do. MF, I don't know. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'd say the same thing. Don't respond. I can't make out what she says there.
With people reaching out to see what information or opinions other people had. There's obviously the additional factor of speculation regarding what other communities may know or be referring to when they're coming across general memes or comments.
They, by the way, one of the things said, they're talking about it on YouTube now. Who cares if it's sick? Okay, they're just
These conversations would continue for several days while they discussed the reactions from the wider community and online discourse. Picking back up on December 4th, President Sunday becomes concerned with Pixie's approach and tactics, noting that that's like every wrong decision she could make, now it's content.
Wait, what did she say here? Okay, what did she say? I get it. Okay. This is on Discord, spicy chat. What the fuck? Why is it in the spicy chat? It's all MCR. I'm in my emo phase. Don't you know? I don't need you guys to feel bad for me. I need you guys to stop acting like low IQ children. LMAO, yeah, right. The thing you guys say about me and the way you guys talk about me literally makes me harmful. I'm not joking. Do you think I haven't read the messages you sent before this one? LOL. Thank you for I can't even read that. Give me a moment. On setting? I don't even know what that is. LOL, your subjective experiences is a result of physical processes.
December 4th, President Sunday becomes concerned with Pixie's approach and tactics, noting that that's like every wrong decision she could make, now it's content.
That's kind of fucked up, but so apparently the strategy Pixie is going with is to reply to people, but to pretend it isn't her. That's like every wrong decision she could make. Now it's content. I know she was in spicy chat, and those are the screenshots. Okay.
The concern
she's making a reason for people to investigate it for her if she's not willing to laugh it off or be a victim of whatever she needs to say nothing. Lying about it poorly is the single worst thing she can do. You're preaching to the choir. I've told her repeatedly that denying it basically wasn't an option and to just shut it. But she didn't listen. I'm talking to myself mostly because I'm annoyed and can't tell anyone else. LOL, same. I know you did. I'm so frustrated with her, but I don't see how getting upset with her for doing this will lead to anything other than making her feel bad. Oh, it won't do anything. You're going to have to let her touch her. Wait, what? Let let her touch herself and then pat her shoulder after the consequences of her own actions ruin her year. Oh, let her torture herself. Jesus Christ, I read that entirely wrong. Holy shit balls. Okay. Let her torture herself and then pat her on the shoulder. Okay. The smart move actually would be maneuvering as a victim of Steven and put those people currently jumping down her throat on her side. Her outraged about let's try to read this. Be outraged about the fact that of the leaks and make that scandal. I can barely make out the last little bit of that. Something ooh Pixie no.
Generally being that this was only reinforcing people's opinions that she was the one in the leaks, and driving people to investigate deeper. Straighter Aid would describe this as Sunday preaching to the choir. Importantly, it was around this time that Not So Erudite would reach out to Straighter Aid. She asked how Pixie is doing, but then she asked if Pixie knew he took the video and if she consented to it being shared.
Okay, so let me read some of this. Oh, by the way, Erudite has confirmed that I think Pixie knows that the video was taken. Destiny knows that Pixie knows that the video was taken. But Pixie did not confirm that the video. Pixie denied that the video was ever consensually distributed. It was consensually taken. That's all we know for sure. Maybe just showing him screenshots and saying, "Hey, is this a good idea?" Kayla, whatever, was asking me for details earlier. That's censored, and she asked how Pixie's doing. But then she asked if Pixie knew he took the video and if she consented to it being shared. I don't know why she would even ask me that. My answer could be no on both counts, and she would not change a thing. LOL. Two possibilities. Either she doesn't know and she's looking for a way out to set herself apart, or she's asking on behalf of Steven to gauge whether Pixie is going to cause a problem. The third is she's just a dumb idiot and out of the loop. I doubt it's the third. I doubt it's the third too. There's no way Kayla didn't immediately message him. I don't remember what the last part.
I don't know why she'd even ask me that. My answer could be no on both counts, and she would not change a thing, LOL. It's quite obvious that in the opinions of both Straighter Aid and Sunday, that Not So Erudite would be asking these things not out of concern for Pixie, but out of concern for Destiny.
Okay. I'm gonna have to back this up just a little bit so I can get all these messages. I think for the most part, we can pretty much skip over this because these people are mainly labeling Erudite as being more concerned with Destiny, which, to be very fair and be kind of frank, even after the interview that I listened to today between her and Turkey Tom, it does sound more like she cares more about Destiny than it does Pixie. Now, mainly because she has a financial interest with Destiny. She's the co-host of their podcast. They have a business together. They work together in hand. I actually do take it that it does kind of sound like you're trying to sweep a lot for Destiny right now, especially considering with a lot of these information that's been coming out and a lot of the people that actually know these people a whole lot better than most others. They even find it kind of weird that she's still wanting to do the show with him when he's basically cooked now and nobody can really take him seriously considering he's done this. He leaked this stuff out and he doesn't even deny that he did this. He's saying sorry for it. He's apologizing. He's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this happened. I'm so sorry this hurt you." People know this, and you have no room to be morally grandstanding on anybody anymore. You have no room to actually come out here and take the Trump stuff, okay? Legitimately, take the Donald Trump stuff. You're furious about the hush money case, okay? You're furious about all that. You're furious about his moral standing and things like this. You try to grandstand on all that. Why should anybody take you seriously now, considering you have all this? Considering we know that you're doing this. And this is at least the third time that you've done this. We've been seeing all your leaks. We're seeing everything that's going on here. You have no room to actually communicate anymore as a serious freaking political streamer. What the hell? And for Erudite to still be trying to utilize Destiny for profit and for their business, it also sounds kind of weird because people are going to be looking at this and go dude, you basically confirmed that you did this. Everybody knows that you did this. You have lost any and all political, like moral ground or any and all like sanity, people aren't going to be taking you seriously anymore. You just torched your career because you wanted to get with a random e-kitten. Yeah, and sorry, I have to keep adjusting my chair because I'm either too high or I'm too low and I don't like it.
But out of
oh wait, I didn't read any of these. Well, I'll just skip
concern for Destiny, with a general feeling that regardless of what the answer was, Kyla's position wouldn't change a dot. Straighterade does also confirm that Pixie was aware of the recording at least existing, and that it had not been created without her knowledge. The conversation moves off this topic once again at this point, to the wider subject of Hassan and the Twitch war that was occurring at the time. Though it would come up again around the 1st when Straighterade brings up Fairy Queen leaving a comment on Kyla's most recent video.
I have no idea who half these people are. I gotta be honest. Oh shit, I went too far back. Wanted to do another thing. Never mind. I'm just, because I wanted to get some of these real quick, but wonder how long before they delete this comment from Fairy Queen LOL. Oh, I don't even know what's being said, but okay.
Comment on Kyla's most recent video. Erudite seemingly
Erudite, hey, FQ, I get that you're mad at me, and that's fair. We've got our differences, but I wanted to ask you to think about the people involved in the leaks. I've been talking with them, and they really want as little attention on this as possible. Your comment is kind of confirming that it's them, which they're denying, and drawing more attention to it. For their sake, I'd really appreciate it if you consider removing that part of your comment. No, fuck you.
Had been in contact with Fairy Queen asking her to take this comment down, or at least a section of it. Though it is worth noting that Erudite is openly talking about being in contact with the victims of the leaks, and noting concern for them as the primary reason for its removal. As I'd like to do as little editorializing as possible here, I'll let it pass without much comment.
Okay, let it pass without much comment, but Fairy Queen, one, I don't acknowledge that Melania is claiming Steven shared these videos without her consent. 2, have you confronted Steven privately about this? 3, will you disassociate from him for sharing another woman's sex tape without her consent? Gotcha. I'm not an extension of Steven. You're not a feminist. Well, here's the thing. It doesn't matter that you're not a feminist. Even Melania, that's the one of the other people that has actually been alleging this. And in fact, apparently this was something I didn't know of. Melania came out and tried to converse with Chud Logic, who's another commentary guy, another lefty dude. I like some of his videos. I'm not going to lie. Some of them I really don't like. But Melania tried to converse with Chud Logic to get the story out initially, and Chud got blacklisted from everything. So you would wonder why people actually think that there's this big organized machine around Destiny when Chud almost broke a massive story about Destiny spreading and sharing images of his wife at the time. Actually, this might have been his ex-wife. Yeah, this would have been his ex-wife because this was coming out in December. Sending and sharing videos and images of his then ex-wife to everybody without her consent. And she got silenced. Everybody got silenced around that. Somebody got blacklisted for doing that. And then Erudite, again, when we come back over here. No, legitimately, I'm pulling this back up. Do you acknowledge that Melania is claiming Steven shared these videos without her consent? Will you disassociate from him? Erudite has a financial reason to benefit from Steven. She is profiting off Steven. They have a stream together. They have a business together. They work together in all this. She has a justifiable reason to defend Steven. Not just with the Pixie stuff, but with his ex-wife stuff and Melania, with the Lauren Southern stuff, with the rumors that he's freaking gone out and done stuff with fucking, what's his name? Nick Fuentes. And then there's other people that have been wrapped up in all this. I mean, I might have seen, I saw some images of people I didn't need to see is what it's down to. And I really hate it. So, but like you're on the Pixie situation, you acknowledge that everything's bad, but you're like still trying to defend him in some way and be like, well, it's not that big of a deal. And again, if I can get over to the talking to Erudite part, I will.
Though I would like to point out at this point that the leaks themselves and the silence around them had become such a fascinating topic that even Wick TV seems to recognize that this is obviously becoming a
I don't even know who Wick TV is, but Kayla deleted my comment on her YouTube video. My comment criticized her decision to co-host with a known SA in the community. I followed up with 3 direct questions. Instead of addressing them, Kyla blocked me. Given that Kyla seems unbothered by Steven sharing Melania's and others' nudes, I see no reason not to share her refusal to explain why she continues to co-host with him in public. I dare her, and frankly, anyone from DGG, to get upset at me posting our private conversation after silently supporting Steven firing off revenge pornography this past December. I'm curious what leg you think you'd have to stand. After all, you don't know for sure that it didn't have consent to share. So just assume that I did. And please don't harass poor Kayla with messages asking her if she consented to having me post this. Kayla would have very much prefer that we not discuss this. She wants as little attention on her Bridges co-host as possible. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Now, part of the problem, again, also was that Pixie didn't want people talking about this in public, but again, why were you, if you don't have to talk about this without, you know, maybe slowly moving away, because you're profiting off of all this. You're profiting off of Steven's position here. You're profiting off of Destiny, and you fully know that he's doing this right now. And in the interview, you openly say you think what he's doing is wrong, but he said he's sorry. But you're trying to do a political podcast here. You're trying to do this thing where Destiny takes these very strong stances against certain actions that are immoral in his position. How can people even take him seriously now? He's almost 40 years old, and the dude's out there acting like this. He's doing this. He's sending people's nudes unconsensually to everybody. He's outright hurting individuals, and his answer is, sorry, bro. Here's some money for bills. Yeah, piss off. And you're defending it. You're literally trying to defend it. And I get you're trying to defend, you're also trying to protect the victims, but I don't see how there's no sweeping going on here for financial reasons. I just don't.
Content item in and of itself.
Keep that in mind. It's an interesting question. Symposium Brain for $20 says Melina recently confirmed that the sex tapes leaked by Destiny's former girl were shared by Destiny without her consent.
Good one. Nice.
If she has no legal recourse.
I got a whole bunch of super chats for you. Wick, ready?
Okay. Did you not?
Wick.
Okay, fair enough.
Wick is a.
I saw this initially, and I still don't even know what the heck that's supposed to be. What's supposed to be happening there? Like, are you supposed to be sending super chats? Like, what's going on?
Stinky butt. I think that's a #1 super chat.
At this point, Straight Raid accuses Kyla of being snaky about this to President Sunday, explaining that Pixie and Kyla have been in contact, with Not So Erudite acting as a kind of liaison. It's
okay, let's try to read some of this. Saul will go over it tomorrow. Nice. Kyla being snaky about this. Pixie contacted her and was kind of trying to use her as cannot read that word, liaison. I told her Kyla can't be trusted to help with that. Dan contacted Pixie a couple of weeks ago as well. According to what she told me, he basically said, ask Steven for a reasonable amount of money and he'd probably pay it. Plus, wanted her to convince him to not take legal action against KF, which he's considering. So what I'm taking away from this is people want to sue Kiwi Farms. Somebody wants to sue Kiwi Farms. Either Dan's wanting to sue Kiwi Farms, either Destiny wants to sue Kiwi Farms, or Pixie was wanting to sue Kiwi Farms, but that was a bad idea because somebody was already going to try to sue Kiwi Farms. Which Destiny's openly trying to sue Kiwi Farms. That would be the greatest fucking moment ever, because my god. You don't win going against the farms. You don't win suing the farms. Anybody that's ever tried to take on the farms or sue the farms or get the farms shut down, lose. Don't do it. It's bad idea. Just bad idea all around. You make yourself a bigger target in the end. Furthermore, from this point, this goes into what President Sunday wanted to try to say is Pixie was trying to extort fucking Destiny, which doesn't make any sense. Like, because Pixie was literally told to start asking for money by people in Destiny's sphere. Destiny was the one that I believe actually initiated the idea of giving money. So how could anybody be extorting? But Pixie also wanted like $1 million. And everybody was like, well, that's unreasonable. You can't do that. Girl has her nudes all over the place because Destiny couldn't keep it in his pants. What is she supposed to do? She feels like her life's ruined. And he has the fucking money to pay it. Don't act like he doesn't. You up for a call later tonight? Lycan and I are driving back from Texas. Won't be home until later tonight. What about the night after? Pixie wants to go public before the end of January, and I don't know what to tell her because there's pros and cons both ways. Just talk tomorrow. I'm going to talk with someone I trust. Sounds good. This is blackmail. Tell her under no circumstances to do this. Dan is a effing moron. I can't read that last part, but it's like a talk about sabotaging her. It's not blackmail. It's not blackmail. It's not blackmail. It's not extortion. It's none of this. But this is what President Sunday ended up doing to basically out everything because he got his panties in a bunch, I guess.
It's also revealed that Dan reached out to Pixie as well. And from what Straighter Aid had heard, Dan encouraged Pixie to ask Destiny for a reasonable amount of money, as well as trying to get Pixie to persuade Steven not to sue Kiwi Farms. Straighter Aid would then provide Sunday with the DMs between Not So Erudite and Pixie, and notes Pixie's original desire for a payout somewhere in the region of $1 million.
Again, he's a millionaire, he can afford it. Go fuck off. But these were messages Kayla and Pixie exchanged on 12/18. Kayla was telling Pixie that she would talk to Steven IRL about the whole ordeal, but then said scheduling issues prevented the conversation. She also says every time she tried to ask for details via messages, he's not engaged. But I think that's a lie, obviously. And for context, Pixie wanted to sue for a lot of money, literally $1 million. But I told her that amount isn't realistic. Well, she probably wouldn't get it in a lawsuit, but if she was to ask Destiny for it, yeah, she probably would attempt to get it. But even they were saying it's unrealistic. You're not getting that money. Which he was I'm not even kidding. Again, I want to try to get to the interview. Even Erudite was saying, well, he was offering to help pay for her LSATs because apparently Pixie wants to be a lawyer. He was offering to help pay for some of her like room and board, help pay for apartments, pay for all this. Okay, how long? Because that could easily add up to $1 million over a period of time. So why not just give them $1 million? If you're already offering to pay it, then why not just pay the $1 million? The whole money idea came from you guys in the beginning. How is this unreasonable? Destiny can literally stream for like a few hours, make that money back. And then there's a screenshot that I can't see right now, but and she's discouraged from pursuing a legal route after speaking with a lawyer who specializes in cybercrime / revenge porn, and they told her that the hacker is at more fault legally than Steven. That's a load of horse shit. Because think of it, legitimately think of this, okay? How can the hacker be at more fault than Steven? The hacker wouldn't have that material if Steven didn't send it out in the first place. And I know this is probably like an argument of why the heck did you give that person a gun? No. Like what the hacker did was still wrong, but what Steven did was also wrong. Like two wrongs don't make a right. They're both in the wrong there. So she has all the rights to still sue Steven because Steven was sending around the revenge prawn. It's not even that hard to figure out. I can't make out that last little bit. Let me see if I full screen it if I can. Which is okay. Which is why she wants to go public about it. She feels like there's not going to be any legal justice and doesn't want him to get away with this. And that's another thing. Static, you asked earlier, like, you didn't like a lot of this and asking for money. One of the things that she does bring up a whole lot is how she wants him to, like, feel punishment. She wants him to hurt in a way. That's also one of the reasons she's asking for so much money, is because she doesn't believe that he will ever learn and will do it again, because this is the third time he's done it. So she wants him to feel some sort of pain, you know, like how the justice system's kind of supposed to work in some regards. It's not just rehabilitative, it's also here's punitive, here's a punishment, here's punitations, here's stuff that actually hurts you to make sure you never do it again. Like a spanking. Hit that switch.
So let me take you through the conversation between Not So Erudite and Pixie. Pixie, in blue, begins by reaching out to NSE, asking whether she's had a chance to talk to Steven yet.
Did you end up talking to Steven? Not yet. Coleman canceled, so I ended up not coming in, but will be there Saturday. And you hinging a lot on my conversation with him. Other than what I mentioned, is there anything you were hoping to be brought up?
NSE responds by asking,
Test? Static? What's test? Were you not able to comment for a little while? I see your YouTube chat's being weird. Well, quit being weird. Fix it. You're the tech bro. Fix it, bro.
if there's anything Pixie hopes was brought up. Pixie then explains that depending on how that conversation goes, depends on what her next course of action will be.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I was saying I hope we get a case. I want a case. I want a case. Static, imagine me, you, and frickin' Brad covering this case. Brad, who's also a lawyer in frickin' Florida. Ooh. But okay, I think I'm going to decide my next course of action of what to do with myself and him based on how that conversation goes. Unless if you decide you don't want to talk to him, that's okay too. Basically, I have my plans / course of action paused and will choose something depending on if he agrees he has to make up / repent for the action and wants to work with me to find a way to do that. Or if he doesn't feel that way, I don't want to talk to him myself because I feel like I tried explaining what I was feeling and he didn't really understand. I also have a little anxious voice in my brain telling me to prepare for the worst because he probably won't care or doesn't care enough to willingly try to make up for his mistakes. And that means I'll have to start thinking of more extreme nuclear options to deal with, but I'm trying to avoid spiraling down.
Particularly based on whether Destiny feels like he needs to make up or repent for his actions. Timeline-wise, Pixie had already spoken to Destiny in what was essentially a brief exchange of DMs.
Jesus Christ. Okay, some of these we haven't gone over because we've gone over a few of these. So let me try to get where this all begins. Give me a moment because I didn't have these. Oh, come on. Okay. Hi, Steven. Hold up there. What's up? And then we move on ahead a little bit. Part that I can't read. And then we have, I feel like it's hard for me to give you advice since I'm obviously implicated in everything, but I would still say some of the following things. 1, things die out surprisingly fast. There might always be a couple of random losers online, but people move on to the next thing. And outside of some losers on Kiwi farms and some irrelevant content people who will fade away in a year or two, inevitably stuff fades away. There are people who were big online a few years ago that people can barely even find traces of anymore. Stephen Molyneux is a good example. Yeah, I saw that part, Legatus, but hey, I'm a proud loser online. Thank you very much, that nobody cares about. Get that right, Destiny. You still have every legal option available to you. You can always pursue stuff, and there's a special civil and criminal protection that even shields your name from being released. You can always do free consultations with litigation firms to check with stuff like that. For obvious reasons, you should take things I'm saying with a grain of salt and pursue check out all of those things on your own. I mean, one of the first people that told her about this is Destiny to, maybe take legal action. Might be rethinking those options and that advice. But lastly, had to put in some uppy deckies. You have accomplished and done a ton of things in the past couple of years. When I met you a few years ago, you were yo-yoing like crazy between ultra harmful ideation, throughout thoughts, and being hung up on a weird guy and feeling aimless after getting your college degrees. But you've done a ton of work this year with PV, which was a progressive victory. Moved to and survived in Miami all on your own, branched out into new content areas, and made new friends across new communities. It would be super shitty to not follow through for a couple more years at least and see where you could continue to push things. I mean, yeah, that's nice. But this is where you found her at the beginning. You found her at the beginning, yo-yoing through life like crazy, and had all this crazy issues, just like one of the other girls who you said had BPD that you boinked and then accused you of doing similar actions. Man, Destiny really has a type, if I do have to be honest there.
In what was essentially a brief exchange of DMs.
This feels super lame, and I don't at all want to imply that somehow just giving you money helps anything go away or fixes everything for you. But if you have any bills, yeah, we already read this one.
Pixie would also assure Not So Erudite that she was not a danger to herself at this time.
Oh, and just not to scare you, I'm 100% not going to do anything to myself, no matter what he says during holiday season, because I don't want to traumatize my friends during a time that's supposed to be happy. And even if he responds negatively, it doesn't mean I'll auto off myself. I'm trying to contemplate all different courses of actions, including going public, and then if I can't take the amount of humiliation, then offing myself, versus my plan before of scheduling a note for after I off myself. Jesus Christ. I'm also still looking into lawyers, but I just want to see what he says before deciding to do any nuclear options. Again, Destiny really has a type. Jesus Christ. We haven't even gotten into the Destiny parts of this, by the way. Like, this is all the Pixie stuff. We haven't even gotten into Destiny's response.
Though a constant theme in Pixie's communications is this potential underlying risk that she may do damage to herself. Not So Erudite asks whether she can share this with Destiny, to which Pixie agrees.
Can I share this with Steven? He communicated to me he knows he effed up. There is no excuse at all and doesn't know what he can do for you to make it up. I am trying to bridge between to help him understand what would make you feel that he understood he was wrong and should never do this again. Or better, what can I share with him? You can share this and anything you want with him. I felt like when we talked, you really understood where I was coming from and can hopefully explain this better than I can.
Citing the fact she doesn't feel like he really understands her perspective, and it may be better coming from Not So Erudite. Not So Erudite pushes a little harder to work out exactly what it is that Pixie wants. She lists what she thinks are her goals.
Gotcha. Thanks for not sugarcoating anything about where you're at. I think what we talked about as what you needed help removing the video from online, getting the guy who hacked charged, and since that Steven understands how in the wrong he was and plan to prevent this from ever happening again. Is this what you feel you need? Yeah, the only problem is number 3, because even with removal of the video and getting the guy hacked charged, Steven has to face consequences proportional to his actions. I want this to be the most expensive mistake of his life. Which I would understand some people thinking that this is potentially like, you know, extortion, or this is potentially something really bad happening, or like, I understand how some people could probably take this in a negative light, but you also have to remember, he literally sent inappropriate images. They were trying to keep this behind the scenes. They were trying to quash this behind the scenes. They were doing everything they can. And she felt like her life was over and that her family could see it. People could see it. And this wasn't the first time this has happened. Destiny survived actions like this before, silencing other people that were actually, you know, having situations like this go on. I understand where she's coming from, wanting this to hurt in like a punitive, not punitive, but like, I wish Brad was here just to help me with some of my language, because punitive isn't the punishment. Like there's punishment in some of this stuff from time to time, and she doesn't think that he'll care. He'll just go like, oh yeah, here's the money, move on with life. That's why she wants it to hurt, because Destiny would just go like, okay, here's the money, go on with life. Probably do it again and again and again, because let's be fair, Destiny can't keep it in his pants, and this isn't the first time he's had like internet people come by his house, or he's done stuff with like some of the people in his community. Like he really likes boinking the girls in his community. It's kind of creepy, and it does also make me think that maybe he did try to boink Denims. Destiny was one of their champions. He's supposed to be an example. Look at his hypocrisy. Their side is on a great fall. Wait until Hassan's skeletons come out of his closet. Oh my god, it would be... Hassan's skeletons will one day come out. Somebody's got to have those skeletons. Oh my god, it will be beautiful, because right now all we have is the Dude Bro podcast that he tried at one point, and that he went to a brothel. That's all we have. Now, the brothel was rated for some underage activity, but we don't know if Hassan partook in that underage activity. I can't wait for Hassan's shit to come out, because that would be just so funny. A lot of this stuff I laugh at. Like with Pixie, I do have some sympathy for Pixie. I actually do kind of, I do have sympathy for this, and I'm not trying to come at, I am biased against Destiny. A lot of these people I don't know Pixie. I don't really care one way or the other. But a lot of this stuff I just laugh at. Remember, freaking Vosh was at the top of the world. Then people found out that he likes horses a little too much, and short stack goblins. That wasn't short stack goblins. That was Lollyprawn. Jesus Christ. These people keep imploding every day, and I love it.
Help removing the video from online, getting the guy who hacked charged, a sense that Steven understands how in the wrong he was, and plans to prevent this from ever happening in the future. Here, Pixie clarifies. What she wants is for this to be the most expensive mistake of his life. She doesn't list a dollar amount, nor does
expensive mistake of my life, and I am essentially asking him to self-punish himself in a way I don't think he will like or agree to without the law involved. I don't have a dollar amount from the top of my head. It just has to be enough that for the rest of his life, if he thinks of the word nude, he associates it with the amount of money he loses. Obviously, I don't want to make him destitute, but it should be a large enough that he does feel upset about it and is not easily recoverable. Keep those horses safe from Vosh. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so that is what you want to pursue. It wasn't clear to me before that this is what you want specifically. My understanding was it was more a sense of rehabilitation and justice. Well, I mean, punishment is also a part of justice. Like rehabilitation and justice, yeah. Punishment is a part of the justice. in the justice system, part of the justice is the punishment. Like, how can I get that through your head? We do want people to be rehabilitated. We want people to be able to interject back into life accordingly and stuff like that. But part of the justice is the punishment that is dealt out. That's why we give life in prisons. That's why we have, things like the death penalty. Like, punishment is a part of this whole process. So yes, punishing him by a financial amount and then rehabilitating him would be justice. But again, these are lefty weirdos, so they don't understand what justice truly is.
Does she want to make him destitute? But it should not be easily recoverable. NSC responds, my understanding was it was more a sense of rehabilitation and justice. But you have a specific thing you want now, which is for him to lose a certain amount of money. Pixie responds that she feels that unless he faces actual repercussions, he will never change.
But he read the first part, but you have a specific thing, a certain amount of money. It is that I don't think if Steven faces consequences, he will change and he will do this again. If he wants, he can donate the money to some charity or organization. I just think that other than jail, or even more than jail, from the studies I've read, money is the strongest reinforcer, and losing it is the strongest punishment. I do not believe he will stop his actions unless if he faces some level of punishment. Thing is, you add in that little charity bit. She's openly saying, don't even, she probably wants the $1 million. I mean, let's be real fair here. We're human. We're going to want that $1 million. But she's even saying, pay for me and then give the rest of the money to charity. So I don't really think she's trying to extort the dude, as like what President Sunday was trying to say in his video. This doesn't feel like extortion. This feels like her trying to find some sort of actual punishment. Like, you really screwed up here. You really, really screwed up here. And again, they were trying to take care of this all behind the scenes. And yes, I do believe try to sweep it under the rug so that Destiny wouldn't have to deal with this and that Pixie wouldn't have to come public with this. But it's public now, so we see how that's all going.
Also noting that this money can be given to charity. Not so erudite, seemingly unsure what to do with the conversation at this point, says she'll have to talk to Steven, as this request for money isn't what she was expecting.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Now, real quick, I want to, Seal Hunter, no wonder he calls himself Destiny. The name Steven makes his whole character more of a bore. Well, here, so real quick, again, this is from other information that we got after all these started coming out. This is from Erudite herself, again, within the context of the interview that she had with Turkey Tom. Apparently, before all these conversations were going down, she was actually conversing with Pixie in real life. She was actually having like one-on-one conversations with her in real life. They went to a cafe and they were planning this all out. Again, you have to take this with a grain of salt because it comes from Erudite. I'd have no way to prove that other than trust me, bro, kind of. And again, I hope I can get to those tonight. I probably won't because I still have to cover Steven's response, and also I do want to get into what Dan has to say because Dan gets implicated in a lot of this. So I do want to kind of cover some of that stuff. But we will read this real quick. Gotcha. I need to think about that then because I need to think about that again because I'm happy to communicate what you need broadly as a sense of justice, but I'm not sure what I think about the specifics of money and punishment in this case. I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just the tone. It's just the tone has changed from your previous conversation. As I said, you will change your whole feel. As I said, you will change you how feel day. I think she meant how you feel. Okay, yeah. Change how you feel day by day, and I understand that, but I'm a bit uncertain as to what caused the change in your thinking, and so I wouldn't want to speak to Steven about this on your behalf because I'm not totally certain what led to the certainty of this course of action. Yeah, I'm not even sure about the specifics regarding money and or punishment. I believe in what's going on. Sorry, I have people DMing me like crazy. Give me a moment. Oh, that's all for Ballbuster stuff. I'll address that after the fact.
With Pixie then responding,
yeah, I'm not even sure about the specifics regarding money and / or punishment. I believe in rehabilitation, but part of rehabilitation is penance. The person understands what they did is wrong, takes corrective courses of action and action to help pay penances to the victims and do right by them. I just want to know if Steven agrees with this and is willing to figure out what this means to both of us in a manner that makes sense to both of us. I don't want to cause unnecessary harm or suffering to Steven. I want to know he will never do this again, and I think this would be the most effective method of doing so or jail, but I don't want Steven to go through criminal court because 1, our justice system is horrible at getting people to change their behavior. 2, I feel like it would be overkill on my part. Now, and these are lefties, so you have to understand where they're coming from. Part of rehabilitation is part of justice is the rehabilitation part, and rehabilitation is penance. So that is your punishment part of the penance. So you have to pay for it. Okay, you have to have some sort of punishment there. And the thing is, you can never truly be rehabilitated until you accept what you did was bad. Until you accept and understand that you will never, ever, 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 ever do it again. That's also why, like, somebody saying sorry doesn't mean a whole lot unless you really know that they are never going to do that again. Sorry is just a bunch of words. What you need to know is that they're truly changed and they're not going to do it again. Otherwise, it's just an empty thing. Like, I could push Seal Hunter, okay? And I'll say sorry. I'm sorry for pushing you, Seal. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry for pushing you. And then I push him again. That means I wasn't really sorry at all. A sorry is, I'm sorry for pushing you. I'm never going to do it again. And I never do it again. But with this, like, to be fair, she's kind of right. This isn't the first time Destiny's done this, and this probably won't be the last. So she's trying to ensure that it's the last. So she has a point.
That what she's looking for is a general acceptance from Steven that he understands this as a potential course of action to rectify the situation, as she views this as a potential penance, which is essential, in her view, to the rehabilitation process. She goes on to explain that if Steven agrees, then great, that's an agreed course of action, but if not, then she will have to go through the court system to, as she puts it, figure this out. She goes on to note, Destiny...
sorry is a promise. Exactly. But I totally understand if you don't want to talk to Steven about this. I just have been putting it off because the answer is either 1, yes, I agree with this course of action. Let's talk about what this would look like in a way that makes sense for both of us. Or 2, no, I don't agree. I don't want to do that, which then it becomes, okay, now I have to go to court and figure this out. I'm sorry for using you as an intermediary. I can send these messages / conversations to him myself too. I just feel like if he tells me to directly, it would be emotionally harder to handle than I heard it from you. But I totally understand if that's not something you're comfortable with, and I'm sorry if I put you in an uncomfortable position.
Has already alluded in DMs with her previously to financial compensation, though her concern is that he doesn't really understand the level of proportionality she is expecting from him. Tyler would then respond to tidy up the language, as in her view, it's not about punishment, it's about making sure that he is genuinely remorseful and changing his behavior.
Wait. I heard it from you. He's also alluded to financial compensation, but I don't think he really understood the concept of proportionality of the actions, since he asked if there were any bills he could pay for me. The part here about figuring out what it looks like for you two, for him to fix with you and show proper penance is super fair, and I'm totally comfortable asking him for that. And my read from your guys' DMs And what he said to me briefly is that he is very open.
As she goes on to
wait. Very open to figuring out what that looks like. Okay.
Goes on to further clarify Pixie's position, with Pixie agreeing to the general gist.
Okay. God damn you. The part of her about the part here about figuring out what it looks like for you to the part here about figuring out what it looks like for him to fix with you and show proper penance is super fair, and I'm totally comfortable asking him for that. And my read from your guys' DMs and what he said to me briefly is that he is very open to figuring out what that looks like. Probably framed in the way of punishment is off, because this isn't about punishment. It's about making sure he is genuinely remorseful and changing his behavior is my understanding. Yes, I understand the word punishment is in exchange for penance, because I assume it's something that he won't be happy about doing, but I might be assuming the worst, and those words might be different enough in terms of connotation. All right, so they really playing semantics right now. This is a punishment. You can ask if it's a penance, but it is also a punishment. It's kind of the same thing. Just get over it.
They go back and forth with
penance. Happy about it. Might be assuming the worst, and these words might be different enough in connotation that I shouldn't use them interchangeably. Hearts. And don't apologize at all. I will apologize. I don't want to I don't want to put people in bad positions, and I feel like I'm making everyone I talk to kind of sad when I talk about this stuff. You have the right to make people feel sad, honey. You had your private body shown off to the world because Destiny couldn't keep it in his pants. You have the right to have people kind of feel sorry for you at this point in time. It's the truth. Anybody that says otherwise is retarded. Okay, you're kind of in the right here. You do need some sort of reparations. You need some sort of way to make this right. And I'm sorry, the hacker getting punished, that's just part of it. It's not just the hacker's fault that these pictures got out there. Destiny still sent them. And I'm asking because I want to be clear with where you are, where you're at, and clear about what I'm comfortable doing, because I don't want to make you think I can do something I can't or won't.
Kyler clarifying that you're not making me sad, other than like, I'm obviously sad my friend is hurting and was hurt by our other friend.
Oh,
Pixie
Jesus Christ. I hate that you're doing this way too fast. But putting on the thing for like a second. Clear your can't make it. So I'm being pedantic, but it's to make sure I respect you and myself. You're not making me sad. Other than like, I'm obviously sad my friend is hurting and was hurt by my other friend. Okay.
Pixie make
Jesus Christ. Can't you just get these regular full screenshots? Why do you have to do it like this? Yeah, honestly, I feel comfortable sending him these messages and asking him what does he think this would look like. If you're telling me he is comfortable with the idea of proportional penance and how that would look like, I just feel like
Pixie make
something would look I just feel like he didn't understand when he said he would pay some bills for me, because it makes me feel like he's telling me, oh, I'm sorry that happened. Here's $200. Hope you feel better. Which I think really underestimates the gravity of the situation, to put it lightly, and somehow makes me feel like a cheap prostitute. And to be brutally honest with you, I kind of think that's what he was hoping to get out of this. Here's $200. Shut the hell up. Everybody can come out here and say, no, he's actually feeling sorry. No, he's actually repentant. No, he's this. No, he's that. He was trying to get out of here by just spending $200 and saying, shut the hell up, and then probably dirtying your name. He's done this before with other people. He's done this before, making other people feel bad about themselves, making other people blacklisted, hurting other people by doing similar actions. Yeah, I'm really sure he wanted to just get out with $200 and act like nothing ever happened. As he hunts down this hacker, you sent revenge porn, okay? You sent inappropriate images without the person's consent. You're fucked. Or it makes me feel like that's how severe he perceives his actions to be, LOL. But yeah, obviously do whatever is most respectful towards you. Do you think it would be okay if I sent these messages to him / is that something you're comfortable with?
Makes a final clarification that Destiny needs to understand the severity of the situation, and that paying some bills, which is a reference to her previous conversation with Destiny, isn't enough. With a final clarifier from Kyla that, I think he was worried you would feel he's paying you for your silence, but did want to help but didn't want to overstep. I think he is offering a lot more than you read it, but I totally understand why you read it
that way, because that's kind of how it comes off. I think he was worried you would feel he's paying for your silence. Either way, it looks like he's paying for his silence. It doesn't matter. It does feel like he's paying for silence. He's trying to get out of this as easily as possible. I don't think he's this individual that feels all this remorse like people try to say that he does. He comes off as a slimy little scummy bastard. And it does kind of sound like he's trying to pay for his silence, but
that way. Back in the conversation between Streamline and Sunday, Streamline notes that Pixie was discouraged by the lawyer she was talking to from pursuing this against Steven, and this had moved Pixie to wanting to go public as she didn't feel confident in any form of legal justice. Sunday goes on to reinforce that Pixie does likely have...
I don't want to read all these because it's all the same shit over and over and over again. Pixie wanted... let me go back. Okay. Let me go back. This is insane. And she's discouraged. Oh, excuse me. She's discouraged from taking legal action. Legal after speaking with a lawyer specializing in separate crimes / revenge porn. And they told her that the hacker is more fault. We already read that part, which is why she wants to go public. Also, Steven wasn't aware that Dan was contacting Pixie from what she could tell. Additional context, Pixie was saying that if her parents found out, she would off herself. Tell her to keep cool, she's going to be all right. Assume everyone knows everything. I did. She calmed down since then and hasn't repeated anything related to SA or harming herself since. What do you think of Kyla's messages to her? I know Pixie's delusional to think she could get that sort of money, but I guess I thought Kyla's tone was off when addressing monetary compensation. She made it sound like Pixie was wrong to even expect any money.
Sunday goes on to reinforce that Pixie does likely have a legal route open to her.
Well, yeah, she does. The hacker didn't. The hacker just posted it publicly. The hacker didn't send that material. The hacker wouldn't have that material if Destiny didn't have that stuff. But Pixie wanted that. She was basically trying to use Kyla as a liaison. Dumb. Pixie's real dumb. You and I have to assume that if we deal with her straightly, she will make a very stupid decision. Probably, but even if convince her not to go the routes she's currently planning, I consider that a win. Right now she's thinking of a TwitLonger plus a GoFundMe for legal fees. While I don't think some people hate Steven enough to open their wallets, though I do think some people hate Steven enough to open their wallets and donate to what could be a legal headache, I don't think it's a good idea because of how Pixie is. No one can lose sympathy faster than her, and Keffel's poisoned people's ability to fundraise for stuff like that. No, okay, that's true. That's true. Keffel's really screwed up anybody's ability to ever raise money via GoFundMe. So you kind of have to be very careful. I guess to Static's point earlier, you do have to be very careful at how you utilize these monies. It has to go all to your legal fees. Don't go on this cross-country tour, okay? Don't do it. bad idea. If you do it, then everybody loses sympathy and Steven gets away with it. Is Pixie in Florida? Well, yes. Send this to Pixie. Evidence must be presented to a judge and sometimes a jury that the defendant shared an intimate image of you without your consent. We already have that as proof. And the defendant knew that you did not consent. Now, he has said she probably didn't know. It was 3 years ago when all these images and content was being taken. So, yeah. Or reckless disregard whether or not you consented. Okay, I would say it's reckless disregard because he didn't care. He didn't know. He thinks she probably didn't have consent, and he did it anyway. So yeah, you can prove lack of consent with your own testimony or any other evidence you have. Note that even if you made or shared your own intimate image with someone, that does not mean that you consented to that image being shared elsewhere.
And provides further information which Straighter Aid is to pass on to Pixie for her to consider. Sunday would then go on to ask whether there have been further conversations between...
Okay, I sent this to her the same week they got leaked. Why is she talking to Kyla then LOL? That's how she found the lawyer, though, through reading this plus some other resource, because she started to get impatient and was discouraged by what the two lawyers she spoke to said. Jesus, does this conversation continue, or does she send anything else between her and Kayla? Not sure. That was all she sent. Or with Steven? Okay.
Between Pixie and Kyla that he's not aware of, or between Pixie and Steven. These DMs, to put it simply, are Pixie confronting Steven and saying that she was going to write a note, making it clear what happened
Hi, Steven.
and what her feelings were,
okay,
while emphasizing Steven's contribution to her current state of mind. Destiny then goes on to reassure her that she has a lot of life ahead of her, and that these leaks would pass given time. Finally, Destiny makes an offer that if she requires any help with any bills or anything, then to let him know, so he can provide assistance, and it's one less thing for her to concern herself with. Straighter Aid goes on to share some DMs from Pixie, in which she laments the difficulty a legal case would present. At one point suggesting that in frustration, she may get the same lawyer who works for Kiwi Farms. Conversation between Straighter Aid and Sunday once again returns to...
Oh my lord, there's so many screenshots I don't have. It's not Florida, it's Federal Justice Department Congress. Wait, what? What? Okay.
The general topic of the leaks. For several days until the 8th of January, where Straighter Aid would share a copy of Pixie's statement regarding these leaks.
Wait. You have... She sent me a statement she wants to publish. It's terrible. On November 29th, I learned that the streamer Destiny and non-consensually shared pornographic... Okay, we read that. I think it's too long, reveals irrelevant personal info that works against her, and has other basic typos / grammatical errors that make it a bit hard to follow. How would you rework this to a better statement? I've asked her for a VC later today where I can talk to her about all this stuff. I wouldn't let her publish this. Success here doesn't equal poetry. I think this is fine. The details work in her favor. I can't read the other parts. Well, she ended up editing this because it was that bad. She took a lot of stuff out, actually.
Till the 8th of January, where Straighter Aid would share a copy of Pixie's statement regarding these leaks, in which she states that the sharing of these images was non-consensual, and to her...
We already read some of this, but she took some stuff out. I don't remember what it was. When I was 20, over 5 years ago, I was extremely sexually inexperienced. We already read that part because he got Cope and Seeth actually got a copy of like the original part.
Her knowledge, she is the third person this has happened to. The timeline she provides is that this encounter occurred fairly early on in her online career. She also cites how she would pursue him in court, and that this would be a civil action. As this...
Well, it's no longer a civil action, I believe. Oh, no, yeah, it was a civil action. Private facts in Florida? Wait, publication of private... Oh, yeah. Publication of private facts in Florida, which she has obviously edited so much of this up because this was... Like, even this little bit, you can already see it's very different than what we have around here. Disclosure of intimate images and publication of private facts. Intimate images. So you can already see there's a little bit of a difference right there. Civil action record. And oh, no, it's the right one. Where's the difference?
This was clearly prepared for publication.
I've been told that a court case like this could be potentially cost over Guess it's not. Oh, wait.
Also notes her GoFundMe and the fact that such a case would cost money and would need wider public support. She also, at least to some degree, verifies
Oh, yeah. This is the part that she took out, the Dan part.
Straighter Aid's earlier comments regarding Dan Saltzman, noting, I have been told by a variety of people to not go public, most notably Destiny's anti-Twitch crusader, Dan Saltzman.
Wait, what was this part again within the original? I've been told out the payment might not be worth it, or harassed, and attention I will receive an ideal world option. I've been told by a variety of people to not go public, most notably Destiny's anti-Twitch crusader Dan Saltzman. I have been told by some people that Steven really does feel sorry. Okay, so that's the part that she took out. The mention of Dan in particular is who she took out. Okay.
Finally, she leaves off noting that Destiny has violated federal law in his transgressions against me. He has violated my consent and is directly responsible for the sexual abuse I have received. When pressed on the release schedule of this statement, Straighter Aid shares a DM between herself and Pixie, where Pixie clarifies that she wants to talk to her lawyer first and send a demand letter, and based on his response to said letter,
release the thing first. Wait, what? My God, Jesus Christ, what is going on?
I originally wanted to do it by next week, but seems unlikely. On January the 10th, President Sunday would approach Straighter Aid asking if there was any updates on the situation. She responded that she hadn't heard anything else, and she speculates that Pixie at this point may be annoyed with her and just simply ignoring the messages.
Updates, nope, I haven't heard anything since the 8th, but she's been active, so she's just ignoring me. Well, give it a couple days. I'd like for her to update me, and she kind of randomly had been throughout this whole thing, but I think she's annoyed with me. I think she continues to evade you. We need to assume she's been paid off. Jesus Christ. I told her gently to readjust her expectations with money that she could receive in any sort of settlement. Said the demand letter first wasn't a good idea. Nah, she would tell me if he settled.
Though she assures Sunday that had Pixie taken the payoff, she would have been informed. It would then be on the 16th of January where Straighter Aid would once again reach out to Sunday, asking him whether he was aware of Lonerbox's stream.
Oh, yeah, okay, so Lonerbox, okay, so I know a bit
in which
of that.
Lonerbox stated his intention to take a break from streaming, but more importantly, alluded to what happened.
It's a little bit frustrating that the psycho smear campaign against me has kind of succeeded, and it's basically all because of Hassan being willing to platform it. Which is very annoying that you basically have to like suffer the consequences of someone else's stupidity, but is what it is.
Is it bad that I'm really curious what game he's playing? Is this World of Warcraft? Static, are you there? Are you watching the stream? I need to know, is this World of Warcraft or is this something else? I need you, Static. I need you now than ever.
Someone else's failures as a human being. But that's not why I'm taking a break. That's just annoying. And it's something that I'll probably be able to work around by myself. But
within this live, Lonerbox notes his frustrations with Hassan, but points out that the Israel-Palestine discourse and how he's being treated in regard to that content isn't his reason for leaving. The further illusions
Thank you, Static.
Come when people bring up Destiny to him in his chat.
You've got Tiny to back you up, both. You make quite the team when you're together. No. What do you mean stop streaming? I'm not going to stop like forever. I just need some. It doesn't matter. I just need a bit of a break. What was the catalyst for that decision? Can't really go into detail. It's been a few things. Have you just not been enjoying streaming? I mean, I like streaming. I just there's just a lot of things surrounding the whole thing that's making it. It's just making me need to step back for a minute and reassess what I want to do going forward. Is it the IP discourse? Nope.
Lonerbox's obvious discomfort around the topic of Destiny led to what I can only describe as a cascading series of events where people began to realize that this once contained story was not going to be contained for much longer. And it has not taken long for even people such as Hassan to start reacting to this news.
Okay, so what's
to be fair, I haven't seen Hassan react to this any further. But yeah, Hassan's gonna be having a fucking field day with this thing because Hassan and Destiny hate each other. He is going to milk this shit for all it's worth. Man, Destiny really fucked up.
What's interesting is Bad not correct himself. It's not cheating, but that she had denied previously sleeping with him and then was in the leaks. Oh, okay. Okay, so that makes a little bit more sense. So Bonerbox starts dating a Destiny Orbiter. The Destiny Orbiter tells Bonerbox, I never had sex with Destiny. And then Destiny, in the endless interest of like trying to fuck, you know, e-girls that are in his DMs, sends his entire library of content that he filmed with his ex-wife, which I'm sure his ex-wife is not fully on board with. I would suspect that if you were Destiny's ex-wife, you probably aren't very happy about like videos of you guys having sex being distributed to random people, including, you know, many other people. And that person that he sent it to, their friend, I think, leaked all of those videos and made it viral. And one of them was even Destiny like sucking a penis. And that's where the whole
Can't get over that whole thing. I saw that video, by the way. Why? Like, I don't like Destiny. Let's be real fair here. I used to have respect for him, and just disagree with him, but I really don't like him, especially after how he's been acting over the past couple of months. But Jesus Christ, you didn't. You gave Hassan a W as well. Like, anybody looking at this objectively realizes, Jesus Christ, Destiny, you just gave Hassan this massive W. What's Destiny reaction doing it? Wait, what's Destiny's reaction doing it? Destiny's reaction? Oh, during it? Doing? Oh. Don't make me describe the video. All I'm gonna say is that wasn't the first time Destiny did that. God damn it, it's back in my head. I hate having an overactive imagination and also a brain that can recall things like that. I don't. Bro didn't even shave. Neither of them did. Like two Jewish fros going at each other. Disgusting.
Like the Destiny Sarcophany Fuentes drama comes from. But ultimately, what ended up happening is, I guess that's when Bonerbox found out that his girlfriend had actually lied to him, maybe. I don't know.
Given the nature of the developing situation, President Sunday suggests having a call with Stray Trade to explain to her that at the very least, Pixie's involvement is now public discourse.
So yes, it kind of was public discourse, but it was within their own thing. It was public discourse, and then President Sunday ultimately made it full-fledged known who it is because he just went full bore with it. But oh well, let me know when you're available to talk. Serious development, good development. Ooh, I'm not free until tomorrow night to chat. TLDR, or should I wait? Urgent, actually. Tell me! I can't pass anything to Pixie, though. She's not replying, and I just don't feel comfortable bringing anything about this up to her.
And most pressingly, that the conversation between Pixie and Erudite had leaked to a wide range of people.
Wonder how. You know, how... I need to remember. It might be in the Erudite conversation. It might be Pixie who leaked it. How do you get that? Unless another hacker. I just talked to Blank. He has the Pixie Erudite messages, and he leaked them to me. He had them, and he shared them to me. Did you share with anybody else? Fuck, with Blank. Was it in the exact same video? I know Blank wouldn't have shared it. Don't know. He said in my convo that he didn't have a scrolling video, but I had never mentioned it was scrolling. And he's got all of it, so he definitely has it. What do you send to who? What did you send to whom specifically? I sent the video. I never took screenshots to Blank.
Sunday, for his part, had been approached for a conversation by another content creator regarding these leaks, as people were beginning to try and work out how much information everyone else was holding. They begin going back and forth.
Can I ask you a blunt question? Yes, of course. have you talked to Steven directly throughout any of this? Yes. What was said between you two? He told me about Pixie's suicidality, and I said he should offer her compensation. They talked from there, but Pixie told me the convo broke down. So everybody's talking about the money. Everybody's trying to get Steven to give money. Even Steven wants to give money. So, and I haven't even played President Sunday's video, but President Sunday's entire video, I shit yet not, is him trying to say that Pixie's trying to extort Steven. How? You did this yourself, you dumb fuck. Everybody's trying to get money brought out.
Discussing who the leaker of the leaks may be. Though honestly, looking through it, it's sort of an elementary question at this point. But we do get one more interesting detail. And that's the fact that Straighterade had been discussing all of this with Destiny throughout this period. In fact, it was Straighterade who suggested to Steven compensation. Sunday asks, but given that your impulse is to try and find a mole, I'm going to assume that what they said is accurate. You suggested Steven pay for Pixie's law school. Straighterade responds, this was one of my few suggestions. I said that she's in a precarious financial situation, that she's not consulted her therapist, and that therapy bills or payments to assist with law school would be money that would be productive to her because it's something to look forward to. She refuses to tell her family, and things were breaking down with Lona, and I felt overwhelmed being one of I don't know how many people she let into a limited support network. What follows in these DMs?
This is the threats of harm worried me because she kept saying it was contingent on her parents finding out, not the general public, but it was never pressing enough that I felt a wellness check was in order. Lona reached out to me when she hadn't heard back from her. I contacted her roommate and asked to please contact me, and then I think that day she responded to me, and I made the suggestion to Steven to offer compensation because it's what she wanted most. Do you understand that this is being seen as you assisting and blackmailing someone? How is this blackmail? How is this blackmail? Static, I know I'm retarded, but how is this blackmail? Is President Sunday just retarded, or am I the retarded one here that can't figure out how the blackmail part is incorporated in this at all? Like, if you're still in chat, Static, please tell me how this is freaking blackmail.
Is essentially Sunday emphasizing the situation to Straighterade. At time of recording, Bad Empanada has come out with a video titled Destiny is a sex criminal, shared porn of multiple people without consent.
I mean, yeah. Again, I have to give Bad Empanada a fucking win. Jesus Christ. And Bad Empanada is an awful, awful human being who doxes and harasses and goes well above board on what it is. God, BreadTube is just some of the most cesspool out there. I'm here, but I'm missing details, lol. I don't know how. I'm still trying to figure out how it's blackmail, but Static, I'm basically giving you as much details as I have. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get to the interview with Erudite tonight because I still want to go through Destiny's response, and I want to give Dan's response.
The spiraling situation is what led to Sunday coming to me. He was aware already that I'd been looking for these DMs, and was aware at the very least of their existence. Because he wanted to provide a fuller context for them, rather than just me releasing them in a tweet, he offered this wider conversation with Straighterade, hoping it could help fill in any blanks, along with any outstanding leaks or information which I may not have. I have attempted to present this information with as little bias as possible. I really just want to provide you with a wider context for what has been happening within the DGG machine. I personally never sought out the Destiny leaks. I have now read more of Destiny's Kiwi Farm page than I ever wanted to. And while...
Oh boy, you saw him sucking your dick, didn't you?
If I'm being frank, I'm not surprised or stunned or shocked by the leaks. I'm not a Destiny fan and never have been. But I've never hated the guy either. Unfortunately for me, this story is one that is basically impossible to ignore. It has been fascinating watching people dance around this topic. And at least for me, this is the part of the story that I wanted to know about. I'm not an accountability channel. I frankly don't care to be.
And that's pretty much it. So that's that for the Cope and See the video, which I'll drop into the chat because it is a good video. I don't like President Sunday's video at all. It is inherently biased, and he thinks that frickin' Pixie was extorting, and now you see that it was blackmail. But through all this, Destiny did release a response over on Reddit. So we got this, and I'm not going to click all these links, but this is a Destiny fucking insane fest. Okay. Legal arc beginning in mysterious ways, such wow. Here, I'm going to scroll in as much as I can. Yeah, let's do it right here. Sometime in November, extremely sensitive personal material of mine was leaked. This affected not only me, but many people in my life. I want to be clear, the leak happened without my knowledge, consent, or authorization. I never had an intention for any of these images to be published. Now, to be fair, Destiny is also a victim technically of revenge porn because all of his images got leaked. But that still doesn't that still doesn't take away from the fact that you sent this stuff. So, did he really even think? Jesus Christ! I haven't spoken out in public regarding this situation for a few reasons. One, I'm actively presuming criminal and civil litigation on these matters against multiple parties. Two, speaking publicly about these materials bringing more attention to them, which harms all victims involved. And again, to be quite fair, Pixie did say she wanted to keep it as quiet as possible at the beginning. I have been trying to move on from covering drama content as it has had an increasingly negative impact on those in my life. Predominantly you. One person involved has expressed thoughts of harming themselves in relation to the matter, and I did not want to exurbiate. I'm probably butchering that word. Exurbiate the situation by talking about it publicly. Just say you didn't want to exacerbate. I got it. I did it right, peoples. But just say you didn't want to make it worse, okay? Because there are now multiple parties involved in litigation. Shut up, Weasel. Who asked you? Because there are now multiple parties involved in the litigation, it is unlikely I'll be able to answer any questions until pending litigation has been resolved. That said, though, I am limited in what I can say. It is important that people know about my recent communications with and regarding Pixie, someone who I was friends with and collaborated with on many occasions. Since the leaks were first circulated, Pixie had stressed to me that keeping things out of the public eye was important to her. November 30th, November 2nd. Here, I'll just click on... You know what? I don't trust Destiny. I'm clicking this. I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up. It's safe. I don't trust Destiny, okay? I don't trust Destiny. One last question. You and Keemstar are friends, right? Pixie, did you know this was pinned to drama alert? Destiny, absolutely not friends. LMAO, I don't think he likes me at all. RIP, I was hoping there would be a way to get the post removed through their own violation, but I guess not, since anything other than that will just put more spotlight. You're obviously free to say / do what you want, but I'm not going to talk about anything specifically, and I will never confirm / deny any of the people in any other videos / images or say any names or anything like that. Of course. I don't trust you. I don't trust you. I don't trust you. I don't trust you. Let me know when you figure this stuff out with a lawyer. Also, if you have any discreet requests, specifically things you want / need from me, let me know. I don't want to have to testify or be named or anything. Okay, there's her basically saying it. That's all I was wanting to find. I've always said I would do my best not to confirm or publicize anything, and I kept my word. December 11th, I received a message from a mutual acquaintance named Lauren Hayden, known only as Lauren DeLugna, who has a legal background. Lauren has had a negative sentiment towards me after I rejected her romantic advances earlier in the year. You see, this is the part that makes me start thinking, why did you have to add that little bit? Because now it sounds like you're trying to poison the well a little bit. I gotta be honest, Destiny. Why would you add that at all? Because his next little bit, I understand that she has organized the fundraiser to support Pixie's lawsuit against me and assume that she has been consoling Pixie on how to proceed. You see that little bit right there? You see everything right there? You could just say she's not a fan of me and she's been assisting with Pixie. Why did you have to add this whole she's had a negative sentiment towards me after I rejected her romantic advances? You see that? See that? That sounds a little petty. Sounds like you're still on some SSRIs, buddy. But I don't want to click it. What you did was evil. I have never hated anyone so much. I mean, it kind of was. That same day, I received a message from Pixie where she suggests she would create a post about me that would go live after she off herself. This concerned me greatly. I genuinely believed that she was still in mental anguish following the leak. Weeks earlier, I responded in earnest, doing what I could to reassure her and letting her know that she had every right to pursue a legal course of action. At no stage did I try to convince her otherwise. This was a highly emotional, volatile time, and my main concern was her well-being. You see, I don't believe you, especially after you basically took a pot shot at Lauren or because she doesn't like you, and then you bring up the messages. Hi, Steven. As my life is on the earth comes to a close, I want to ask you to be please more careful with the people who place their trust in you in the future. Life is unfair, but you should do your best in preventing that not contributing to it. Hold up there. What's up? I'm just tired of living anymore. It's a matter of time until my family discovers what happened, and I feel like there is no way to obtain justice. I don't want to bring a case against you, but I think you'll continue to send nudes of me, nudes of people even without their consent. Bringing a case against you would mean going public, which is the equivalent of a death sentence for me either way. So I feel like the best thing to do is for me to off myself and schedule a post just detailing my feelings on that happened to try to ensure the situation. Jesus Christ, Destiny again. Oh, this is all the way back then. This is just clearing up the censored part. Okay. Destiny, again, you have a type and it's BPD girls. A few hours later, I messaged a mutual friend, Straighteraid, who I knew to be particularly close to Pixie. We tried to figure out the best way forward in terms of making things right, or as right as they could be for Pixie. In the conversation, we spoke about things I could do to alleviate the toll on Pixie's mental health. I took Straighteraid's suggestion and presented them to Pixie. I explicitly offered to help her financially, having had it communicated to me that she was also under financial pressure while dealing with this matter. Pixie's responded stating that whatever price she would ask for would be too high and would only result in making her feel worse. Hey, XM202WOW. Christ. Such big names! This is an older screenshot of the current conversation history. Destiny, this is feeling super lame. It's okay, we already read most of these. Life going on. I think the number of people who, okay, yeah, we already read some of these. Later in the conversation, Straighteraid, she told me that Pixie seemed to want to cover her entire tuition and law school. Oh, tuition for law school. Others told me that Pixie thought it would be appropriate for me to pay her anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million. At no point did Pixie make a specific or explicit request for financial compensation. Wait, what? At no point did she make a specific or explicit? Are you saying that? We have DMs of her actually saying she was thinking she wanted money. She was thinking there should be a financial penalty. She literally told your co-host. So are you trying to semantic your way out and say, well, she never said she wanted $1 million, but she never said she wanted $500,000. So I didn't know how much money to give her. She told your co-host. She told somebody that you stream with regularly. Like, people knew that she wanted money. Everything came around money. And now you're like, well, she didn't explicitly tell me. I think sometime on December 13th, Pixie unfriended me on Discord. Okay, so what? It became clear that no amount that I agreed to would be satisfactory by nature of the fact that I agreed to it. The third parties communicated that the point of any financial compensation would be to punish me. Well, it wasn't just punish. It was also like punitive. Well, not punitive, but it was to be like, well, actually punishment is actually a good point, but it was also like, I can't remember the other word that they did, but like it was to try to get you to stop it. It was to try to actually hurt you and make you not want to do this ever again. The language was incredibly frustrating to hear secondhand. I had already shown a willingness to make things right as best I could. I had spent time talking to mutual friends of ours with the intent to help address concerns with her mental health and thoughts of harm, the sincerity of which I genuinely believed. I was objectively harmed by the situation and was actively seeking to find a resolution that worked well for everyone. I'm not sure where Pixie got this idea that she needed to financially punish me. Penance, thank you, Weasel, but did your co-host just not give you the DMs? Like, everybody has the DMs. Did your co-host just not do it? Did you not read it? Like, what the fuck? Where did she get the idea that she needed to financially punish me? She got the idea from reparations idea of like justice, an idea of, hey, I've read a bunch of stuff, like this stuff actually, you know, if done right, it can actually cause harm, because she well, not harm, but it can make you not want to do it again because you've done this 3 times before. Well, 2 times before. This is the 3rd time that we know of. Jesus fucking Christ. She financially punish me. She's not trying to put you destitute. Jesus Christ. And this text message, Pixie reiterates that she doesn't want criminal penalties for me, just being financial ones, because she doesn't want you to go to jail. This man's the largest political streamer, or one of the largest political streamers out there. And either he's playing willfully ignorant or he's retarded. I'm going to say he's willfully ignorant here. I get that he's in a legal situation, but this is coming off as a 2-year-old can put this together. She literally said she doesn't want to put you destitute. She explained it. Man is a strong word. You're right. It's a soy boy. Dude, you get off the SSRIs. Some of the most personal messages have gone out to the world because of what happened, including multiple incredibly explicit videos of mine, many of which have been forwarded to family members and colleagues. Information has come out which has irreparably damaged my personal relationships. Well, let's be fair here, Steven. Yes, hacker fucked you over too. The hacker wouldn't have the material if you didn't send it in the first place. Jesus fucking Christ. Don't send dick pics. And don't send pics and videos of you sucking dick. Holy fucking shit. Information or have that. This saga has been a nightmare for all parties involved. Her accusations that I likely used a proxy to widely distribute this material while claiming deniability is extremely hurtful. Well, let's be fair. Oh yeah, this is the initial link. Yeah, I don't think you used a proxy to do this, but still fucked up. Like, you fucked up. You fucked up. You sent the shit out there. Why did you do it? Because you wanted to get in somebody else's pants. That's why. You thought it would actually get... It's fucked up. I flat out can't believe that anyone would think I intentionally leaked this material to the public. I increasingly felt uncomfortable by the language being used regarding financial punishment and wanting to teach me a lesson, along with constant references to the precautionary. Give me a moment. Precariousness of someone's mental health. Text message. Teach me a lesson. What was this? I think I'm going to decide my next course of action of what to do with myself and him based on... But, and just not to scare you, but you literally just... We have the full text messages here. We don't just have that little screenshot. We have the full text messages. So why just not share the full text messages? It no longer felt productive to engage in these conversations, as as is well documented at the start of this, I was completely willing to make things right with Pixie. At this point, I just tell people close to me that if Pixie wants to pursue legal actions against me, she's always free to do so, but I don't feel comfortable talking to her about her until, at the very least, my current legal actions have run their course. It has been brought to my attention that Pixie has now tried to re-add me as a friend, but I have ignored these requests. Can't you screenshot those? I mean, you have all these other screenshots. You can screenshot her trying to re-add you. Why don't you put the picture of her trying to add you back? Like, if you're trying to prove that she's trying to do this, put the picture there. You've added all the other pictures. Why can't you put this picture? Like, even this text message, and this whole thing, we had that full length and we had all the context to it. So why just put out that little bit? We have context to some of this stuff. Why are you just putting out the little bits? Come on, Destiny. You want to put out all the other stuff? Why don't you put the link there? If she's trying to re-add you on Discord, you can literally pull up Discord, take a screenshot. Why aren't you doing it? Did it everywhere else. I've never told anyone what they can or can't speak about. I've always left the option open to them. Despite what some people have said, I've never threatened Pixie with litigation or NDA'd anyone. I don't know where that came from, but okay. Well, I mean, I could understand the threatened Pixie with litigation. That's from her initial thing, which, yeah, kind of seemed a little over the top. My goal was to respect the wishes of the people who have been affected by the leak. Pixie has now stated her intention to sue me and is fundraising for that. I do not believe I have violated any laws. I mean, you do have to say that because you're in the middle of a legal action. But you literally sent inappropriate material of her without her consent. That is a violation of a law. That is revenge prawn. We can even go over to some Nick Rekieta stuff. Let's be real honest here. As much as I don't consider it revenge prawn, it legally is revenge prawn. What I just had his name. Aaron did. Let's be honest here. Now there's more nuance in that whole discussion and there's ways for him to get out, but yes, sending that explicit image to somebody else sending explicit imagery, non-consensual, of somebody to somebody else outside of the relationship is considered revenge prawn. And you're a 39-year-old man. We're not talking about two high school students here sending, oh my god, Sheila, she just sent me her booby pics. Oh yeah, look at these. That's a completely different situation here. You were trying to use these in order to get other girls to sleep with you. Jesus fucking Christ, grow the hell up, man. And since Pixie has made clear what she wants to do, I will have to let the evidence and legal filings speak for themselves. It is unfortunate that it has come to this, but it means that all communications with her or Lauren, who may or may not be representing her, will have to be through counsel. Jesus Christ, it sounds like you're really more butthurt that Lauren's involved in this at all. If you have proof that any of this is going on, okay, but this actually kind of reads more petty and vindictive, if anything. And like, I'm the victim as well in this situation. Like, I can understand some of the stuff, but this just reads petty and vindictive shit. But I do want to get over to this thing before we go too far in. I know this is already into this particular stream, but this is Dan coming on to Turkey Tom when he was reading all this, and Dan explaining parts of his notion and all this. So I just wanted to get to Dan talking about it. For those of you who don't know, this is Dan, the guy that's been leading this huge Twitch charge and stuff like that. He made Twitch a terrorist. He's been on Destiny's side. He's been uberly against Hassan. He's been leaking a bunch of information about Twitch. So he actually has like some good stuff, but he got brought up on all this. I feel I would rather have Dan be able to speak for himself on why he does not feel like he's done anything wrong here. He does feel like he has been brought up unjustifiably. Let him speak for himself. I will not have time to go into this interview that Turkey Tom did with Erudite. I mean, I could. If I put it on 1.5 speed, we could probably get through a decent chunk of it and save the rest for Saturday Charity. But I want to get through this part first, and I'll see what time it is after that. So here's Dan's response.
Because she didn't do anything to deserve any of this. She asked for a bunch of advice on legal avenues, and I gave her my thoughts. That's it. I have no idea why people think other people have inferred things out of or by the leaks. And then Dan followed up by saying, I have no idea where they ended to publish, and then she cut that, basically, I think is what the situation is here. Because this is like
Destiny's anti-Twitch crusader in his transgressions against me. He asked on the release schedule of this to her lawyer first, and wanted to do it by next...
I see you're in the various chats. You want to just hop on, or do you not want to have a call? It's fine if you don't, but if you want to hop on, we can have a chat about it. You can give your statement, defense, whatever. Yeah. I don't know if everything you're sending me in DMs is stuff you want me to leak, but yeah, we can have a chat if you want. He's calling. Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, so kind of a crazy day, huh?
Yeah. There was like a good meme that was posted, but probably without anyways, yes. I don't know, the whole thing is really fucked up situation. I don't understand why where this thing came from. As I said, I talked to Pixie one time. I'm on good terms with her, and you know, when we talked, she was just like asking for advice, and Destiny would probably be upset because I did like the opposite of sweeping. I was basically, she was asking like, you know, about a bunch of legal shit, and I was to the point was like, well, let me see if I can find some attorneys to recommend to you. Oh, I wasn't like pushing one thing or the other. You won't find any logs or any crazy shit like that of me doing anything because they don't exist.
Okay. I mean, the only thing she said, as far as I could tell, is that you advised her that going public might be bad for her. Which
what she was.
And the reason I pulled this up is because a lot of people have been throwing Dan under the bus or trying to implicate Dan as doing something, and Dan, from what I've seen, and I'm going to continue Dan's thing, like he seems to have not done anything but just had like a small conversation with her, and that's it. So him being brought up doesn't really make much sense.
At the time, so the first time, something to be clear of, like before this happened, right? Because this was all obviously way after the Kiwi Farms thread and everything else at that point. Like people already, like a bunch of people already knew. So like the whole going public thing didn't make sense. I think she was concerned is that she didn't want it to spread. And I thought that was, you know, if that's your ultimate goal, like that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So
that was my impression because I was hearing about this stuff and I was under the impression that she didn't want any of it to be public. So I was like, well, she is the victim, so I'm not going to, right?
Yeah, she didn't. That was the number one concern, is like anything she did would draw attention to it. And I was like, well, I would agree with that. So that's why she was asking about the legal stuff, because that could be potentially completely private. But at no point was I like, don't do this, don't do that. You know, to be clear, I think like the person who's most at fault here is the hacker, but you know, that's not what anyone is specifically talking about right now. But
is Tom being a coom rag for Destiny? No, actually, Tom has In this video at the beginning, he openly says, "Yeah, I've stepped away from Destiny. I'm not doing anything with Destiny." He likes Dan still, but he's done with Destiny after this because he can't figure out how Destiny even survives, and he thinks that it's just too toxic to even be around him anymore. But there was something I was gonna say. Here's something that I keep having an issue with. If all these high profile people know that this is going on, okay, even Tom, all these massive streamers, all these massive people end up knowing that this whole situation is happening and this whole situation is breaking out. Wouldn't it be your best decision to come out here and be like, hey, Destiny's fucked up. He did something really, really bad. I guess like the more I think about it, the more like I get not. So like the whole reason it had to wait to come out is because Pixie didn't want people talking about it. Then President Sunday did his video. Everybody pretty much learned about it, and then Pixie went out and did the stuff. But wouldn't it be in your best decision to try to alert people that, hey, you know what? This guy, he's kind of a shitty person. Maybe it's a good idea to steer clear of it. Because if you know that they're doing this, if you know that they're going out there doing all this stuff, wouldn't it be a good idea to tell people, hey, they're kind of fucked up? Hey, they did something that's really, really bad, and I don't know how they're gonna fix it. Like, wouldn't that be something to actually say? Like, I could be wrong. I've been thinking about this one right now, and it's like, it's been making me think. It's been making me think, and it's been making me go like, I have honestly been thinking, I think a lot of these people kind of fucked this up. I think a lot of people hid something that shouldn't have been hid, and I get why they did it because the victim didn't want it to be out, but it's like, I mean, wouldn't you say it? Wouldn't you tell people? Shouldn't the public know that one of the largest political streamers who takes these very strong moral stances on certain things, for fuck's sakes, he is still freaking out over Trump being a convicted felon for fucking hush money case. He still thinks that that's a big deal. And now we have this. Don't you think that's something that maybe the public should probably know about? It's something that I've been struggling with right now. Maybe I'm just so black-hearted, and it's like I don't give a shit. People should tell. And maybe I have a bad case for victims here, but it is what it is.
Well, I mean, I think the point to be made though is like the hacker never would have had that in the first place if Destiny hadn't been sending this around, right?
I think Tom just basically summed this all up. Hacker wouldn't have it if the hacker wouldn't have it. Destiny wasn't sending her around, but we'll continue for a little bit more because it's not a long little bit, but it's still telling.
Which, to be clear, you do seem to believe that to be the case, right?
Yeah, but I can also put it another way, right? So there's you shouldn't have sent that around. I'm not going to defend that, but in the same part, like I don't think 100% of the blame, even though that's bad, it's like, as an example, a shitty example, but let's say that me and you are in a relationship and you've sent me your dick pics and we've been sending dick pics back and forth, and then your Discord gets hacked and someone leaks it. Like, how much are you at fault there, right?
Right, but the point. You know? But the point is that Destiny also, which you seem to think is the case, sent it to other people outside of the relationship. It's more like if you and I are in a relationship, and I've seen your cock, and I send it to Nicholas Diorio, and Nicholas Diorio gets hacked. At which point you find out I've been sending pictures of your cock around.
Yeah, exactly. That's not good.
So just to be clear, this is true, right?
What's true?
That he leaked her nudes without her consent.
That's what Pixie says on this type of thing. I don't have any inside information onto that front besides what.
You haven't talked to Steve about this?
I mean, I've talked to him briefly about it, but now it's like I'm a little bit nervous to say too much. Everyone like getting sued, and I certainly don't want to get dragged into all that fucking nonsense or anything along those lines. But I'll say that Pixie says that she didn't consent to that, and that's not good if that's the case, right? I think we can both agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, at least based on the DMs, I mean, why would he? I guess my question is based on the messages
thing, like,
that
why
he.
am I?
To further point, again, if I had time, I would play this interview between Tom and Erudite. Erudite questioned Steven, Destiny, whatever you want to call him, and Destiny openly said he probably didn't have consent to be sending these around. So it really doesn't matter. He didn't have consent. He didn't think that he had consent, so he's kind of up shit's creek right now.
Cautious to say anything is because I just don't know what could have been the case. Like, I'm not going to say.
That's fair, and I understand that for sure. I guess for me, the reason why it seems to be the case to me is because in his DMs with her, in Kyla's DMs with
again,
with
I'm not sweeping for Kyla or for.
I need to play this, but Weasel, that was far more casual about sending dick pics to each other than hypotheticals should be. I haven't heard anything, but it wouldn't shock me if there's some other events that were going on behind the scenes with Tom and some of these guys. I mean, let's be real fair here. Tom got cucked. Tom had his wife or his girlfriend cheat on him with somebody else, and then the girlfriend left him for somebody else. So yeah, I wouldn't shock me if some of these things happen. But also, like, Weasel, you don't have permission to send my dick pics to anybody else.
For Destiny, I only sweep for myself. That's it.
That's fair. Just ignore chat. Ignore chat. I don't think you're sleeping. For me, it seems to be the case because of the direct acknowledgement of wrongdoing, right? And like, for example, Erudite saying, "Oh, well, Steven needs to understand nothing like this will ever happen again, and he feels so sorry for what happened." Like, if there was consent, why would there be acknowledgement of wrongdoing if Pixie had previously consented to the DMs, right? Or to the news being sent around, right? That's kind of my conclusion. And I assume Kyla wouldn't be trying to imply that unless that was the case.
I know this sounds strange. I actually speak with Kyla, like, almost never at all. Like, it's very rarely. It was for booking stuff, and now we actually I'm finding a new person for doing booking, not because of anything, because of this, but I genuinely don't know about that situation. I talked to Pixie one time because she wanted legal advice. That was it. One time, okay?
Right.
And at no point of that was I doing anything along the lines of...
You know what? What Static? What do I know? Because I started to think about this. Actually, I'm thinking about this right now. I'm not even going to lie. Because Kyla, or Erudite in this situation, I think Dan, both run the podcast together with Destiny. Because Destiny was earlier in the year, during the whole Twitch stuff, Tom and Dan were talking, and they were trying to get Tom to move out to Florida, to do stuff in the studio with them a lot. I wonder if I need to look deeper into this, but I wonder if Dan, would the podcast continue? Well, here's the thing, Seal Hunter. Again, I'm gonna have to probably save it for another time. Unless I can, because the Dan thing doesn't go too much longer, but this is a long back and forth in which they go over everything. I would have to, it's over an hour long, but you'll let me see, Static. Because it didn't even show up in my restream chat, and that, yeah, it got static. It got censored. DM it to me real quick. DM it to me. I called them all a bunch of whores. That is 100% truth. But so in this interview, Erudite openly says that the podcast is going to be continuing. As long as nothing else comes out, the podcast is continuing. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to be happening. And this has drastically changed people's perspective on Destiny right now, even within his own community. Yeah, I don't. Static, I even went into live chat and it censored you. It does not like you right now.
Of suggesting she didn't do anything or anything else. That's all that I'm really speaking to here on my front. I'm not retarded. I've met you. I'm not going to throw myself under the bus telling someone that they shouldn't do that. Like,
that's fair.
Jesus fucking Christ, that would be insane.
Yeah.
Like, literally nuts to do. So that was it. She asked for legal advice, and I gave it to her, even though it was probably to the detriment of Steve to a certain extent. The things that I was saying, but you know, that's what I did.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I haven't seen any evidence of you doing anything fucked up, so you know, there's that.
You won't. You won't because it doesn't exist. Mainly because, yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, and I'm trying.
That's pretty much it, because then they start talking about a GIF and then sending dick pics back and forth again. Then he goes through the video, but so Dan's only done conversations about legal advice, maybe to the detriment of Destiny. Something here just isn't sitting right with me. It'll be funny if more people come out as with Destiny stuff about Destiny. Well, funny you say that, and I don't have it because I just heard about it recently. Let me see if I can find it, because there is actually apparently new shit coming out. There's apparently more shit coming out, and let me see if I can find the first stuff from somebody named Cherry. Let me Destiny. That's so recent school. Blah. Wait, what the fuck is what? Holy shit balls. Okay. One, I need somebody to give me, was there a school shooting today that I did not know about? Because if so, where the fuck have I been? And I don't know where that one is. I might come back to that. But what I'm trying to find is there's somebody by the name of Cherry coming out. That is making some statements. That is the Pixie. Where's the Cherry stuff? Where is the Cherry stuff? Because this is the brand new thing. But what the fuck? Yeah, first thing that popped up after I leaked Destiny is I'm just gonna show this. So recent shooting he's black. Manifesto has the N-word about 100 times. F Israel and F Palestine. Lists Ethan Ralph, Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens, and Destiny Hassan Parker and iDubbbz as inspirations. That's the whole reason I noticed that. I see some stuff on it because they're bringing it up about Destiny. I'm trying to find the Cherry stuff. That's what I want to do. Where is the Cherry stuff? I haven't looked too deep into it, but apparently, okay, here it is. Here's Cherry. And I find the what the fuck are you doing there? I don't know what that is. Okay, so there's this new person named Destiny. Okay. what did I say? Destiny? Cherry. This is this new person. I haven't looked into these allegations yet. Today I was made aware of an intimate audio recording taken of me without my consent that was also shared without my consent. I'm upset right now and am going to give myself time to process. This is serious. The person who received the recording from Destiny was not aware I did not consent to the recording. The recognized me by my voice and messaged me today out of concern. I don't feel comfortable sharing more right now. Thing is, I don't have proof. I don't know who this lady is. I need to look deeper into this. I see Destiny has blocked and banned me and people supporting me from his community. I have not done anything besides ask him for an explanation as I was assured this was something he didn't do to me. When I was giving one privately, I spoke publicly. I'm not involved in any lawsuit or coordinating with anyone seeking justice due to the leaks in November, though they have had my empathy and support in their efforts. It is only yesterday I became aware that Destiny had recorded me while we had sex without my consent and with no regard for me. Also shared the recording to others. 2 women now have let me know they have received sexual recordings taken of me in September 2023 without my consent. I thank them so much for the concern for me. No amount of public humiliation will ever make me regret being made aware of what was done to me. I will be filing a police report and pressing charges. And according to Drama Alert, it has taken place. And here's another thing from Turkey Tom. So I don't know what this is, but police report has been filed on Destiny by alleged victim Cherry.
Just said she filed her police case, and that's what I can tell you guys. So she filed her police case. That's it. That's it.
Okay then. One 16-year-old. Okay. Well, that is okay. The shooting is also tragic, guys, but this is the latest thing. This is the latest thing with Destiny, and bro, you're fucked. I didn't even know about the Cherry thing. I only heard rumors about it and murmurings. I didn't even know the dude's fucked. And the more I scroll through this, we have Destiny's business partner, Not So Erudite, is claiming to support me. She has me blocked for over a year now after she refused to engage with me after I confronted her and her husband abhorrent behavior towards an SA victim disliked by Destiny. To this day, she refuses to honestly acknowledge what happened, what she did, and she has instead allowed others to harass me and call me crazy, obsessed, and jealous to avoid criticism for her behavior. My statement with the info so far, my opinion will update as information. The more I look at this, the more I'm convinced Destiny's cooked. How incredibly effing tone deaf to call women disposable. Wait, what the fuck? Oh, this is Brianna Wu. I should probably let's see what Brianna said, and then we need to start wrapping this up. I should probably be smart enough to keep my mouth shut about the Destiny and Pixie lawsuit, but here goes. I care about both of them. Pixie is a good friend and someone I've worked with on several projects. She's seriously talented, fun to work with, and complements my skills in a way that makes collaborations really rewarding. Before this all came up, I had planned to hire her for an upcoming project, and I'm sticking with that decision. For the record, following through on this hire isn't me taking sides. I've made that clear to both her and people close to Steven. They both deserve their day in court, and I'm not here to weigh in on what's ultimately between them. I have offered no opinion on this action privately and made it clear I can't. I just want to be honest about where I'm coming from. Adulting can be awkward like this. Don't. Brianna, you're a man pretending to be a woman. You don't get to say adulting either because you're like in your fucking 60s, 70s. Jesus fucking Christ. Quit saying adulting. I do hope people let the legal process play out instead of turning this into content or drama. Well, too late. It's my content now. It's a serious situation for both of them, and they both deserve better than the avalanche of shitty clickbait sure to come. Just because Brianna Wu said that, I'm going to do it more. Morally reprehensible statement, and from the bottom of my heart, I wish you nothing but the worst. The worst fate for me would be being you, having been an eager, disposable fuck for a streamer and trying to base a career off of whining about it for eternity. If the Atlantic slave trade were personality, that would be you. Who the fuck is this person? Who is this person? I have feet. Who's Bog Witch the Lethal? I'm scared to click this. I'm going to click this and I'm going to look. Who is this person? All I see is I have feet. I'm trapped in your phone screen. Jesus Christ, woman, you're not even pretending to hide anything. You are very open about what you got. I'm not. Yeah. So, what is this? What the worst fate for me would be being having. Oh, that was Brianna Wu. That wasn't. Oh, I screwed up. Okay, so then Brianna Wu responding. Brianna Wu was falsely self-appointed expert who wields her name as it relates to Gamergate at other women to remove their agency and devalue their voice and their stories with misogyny and shame. Just call it as you see it. Brianna Wu's a goddamn man. This is inexcusable. The label of feminist needs to stop acting as a shield for people like her. I love this world. I love this world. I will not post on my revenge porn online. I will not post my own revenge porn online. I showed parts of it to my friends to show him what was sent to me, and I asked for help. He is being harassed for supporting and believing me. I submitted my report and my evidence to the police this morning. It will be filed in 3 to 5 days, and despite trying my best, there was no certain way to submit the report and keep my identity anonymous in filings. Being public is the only reason I was able to find out what happened to me, but I am worried about harassment moving forward, and I'm doing my best to do the right thing and also protect myself. It really sucks that you have to go through this. Did I oogle Brianna Wu? No, I oogled whoever she was calling a fuck toy, because I'm just gonna scroll right down here. She's not hiding. She's not denying what people like, what people care about. Okay, she knows what people care about. She knows what people care about, and I don't even know who this person is. Oh, it's an OnlyFans thought. Okay, but she's not hiding it. We all got to see what it is right down there. But this Destiny shit just keeps getting worse and worse. I'll have to look deeper into this cherry stuff. That doesn't mean I'm going to be looking for the leaks. Maybe I will. I don't know yet. But if the cherry stuff... Actually, I'm starting to think about this. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Or somebody who's watching this on the replay. Wait until more comes out. I might have to wait until more comes out. About the Cherry thing, because I don't know. I don't know who Cherry is. I didn't know who Pixie was. That's why I started, people started talking about this. I watched the Turkey Tom video. I found the sources, and I looked at it myself, and I was like, I think everybody involved is in the wrong except for Pixie, because I think Pixie got fucked over hardcore, and I think Destiny does need to pay some sort of punishment for that one. And if he's doing it to more people, because there is somewhere in all these things, Destiny openly talks about how he did how Melania went out to go do something, and maybe it was in the initial leaks, but Melania went out to go do something. Destiny invited a grinder date over, and he pleasured the grinder date. And he recorded the pleasuring of the grinder date without the grinder date knowing. And people apparently have the leak of the grinder date. So there's a bunch of shit like that going around. There's a bunch of craziness going around. All I know for sure is, at least with the Pixie stuff, okay? Pixie stuff alone, Destiny's fucked. There's no way out of that. Destiny's fucked with the Pixie stuff alone. If you take out the Pixie stuff, if it was this cherry stuff, because I don't know what the leak is, but if there is a leak there, then he's fucked there. I don't know how you get through this. And let's be fair with Brianna Wu. To be honest, yes, they all deserve their day in court. They all deserve their day in court, okay, fundamentally. But we know Destiny sent at least Pixie's thing. That's unequivocally known by now. Everybody in that sphere knows that Pixie did this. And I don't see how you get around the fact that he did this. I don't see how to get that around that little fact that he openly sent somebody else's nudes without their consent. How that's revenge porn, okay? When you take into the Aaron and Holty thing, there's actually more nuance to that situation. But in this one, this is a it seems like a cut and dry case of revenge porn. And as a political streamer, and as one of the largest political streamers, you doing that hurts your reputation. You doing that can actually cause massive damage to your reputation. And now you have to think, how can anybody ever look at you the same way? How can anybody ever take you seriously the same way, especially if you're talking about the ideas of feminism, or saying like, "Oh my gosh, Trump did hush money" or anything like this. How can we ever take you seriously? For fuck, and I'm not to say that it was, but let's say somebody that actually did. How can they ever do it? But then, for fuck's sakes, he's been going on Piers Morgan. Think of this, okay? And every time Destiny's on Piers Morgan, I immediately just always comment, just snowball Destiny, he'll calm right on down. But now we have all this. Wow. He's going to be up there with the likes of like Dan Crenshaw, not Dan Crenshaw, I'm not going to bring that one up, but like Michael Knowles or anybody like that. And he's just going to be an easier target, and nobody's going to take him seriously. You just torched your entire career because you needed to get your rocks off. But I don't know. Lock up Destiny. I would be in favor of giving a bunch of political streamers free helicopter rides. I think that would make our world a much better place. Who knows if there are more women other than Pixie and Cherry that he recorded without permission. So Pixie, as far as we know, even according to Pixie, she had permission. Okay. The alleged part is Cherry, and the other alleged part is the grinder date. Now, with that being said, Destiny's own wife, Melania, has come out and said that he was sending images of her without her consent. We also have, I just hit my mic. We also have Lauren Southern saying that some of her stuff was sent without acknowledgement. What happened with Michael Knowles? No, I'm just saying, like, Michael Knowles goes on Piers Morgan. You're now going to have, if Destiny goes on with Michael Knowles and Piers Morgan, that's an easy thing. He's a loser. Yeah, he's a loser. Michael Knowles isn't a loser, though. I like Michael Knowles. I do. I enjoyed listening to Michael Knowles. But I just... That is a loser behavior. Dude would be a virgin if he wasn't a big streamer. Yeah. 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 I don't disagree with that thing. Knowles probably did have a terrible take. I mean, Knowles has terrible takes, but I still like Knowles. I have more respect for Knowles than anything else. He has some bad takes from time to time, but I still respect the dude. But I haven't even looked at what Michael Knowles has said recently. But what I'm seeing here is Destiny's fucked. There's no other way around it. And with all this other stuff coming out now we have the Cherry situation. I'm saving this. I'm going to save this for another time. It might be Sunday when I go over it because I'm changing up how Saturday Charity works, and I'm going to be changing up how some more other things work as well. But for the most part, yeah, the next time we cover this, I will be covering the whole interview between Turkey Tom and Erudite. And looking back over some stuff and seeing the now Cherry thing, I do kind of think Erudite is sweeping for Destiny. And there's a weird thing. There's a weird couple moments within this interview where out of the blue, Erudite will just mention, "You don't think I'm trying to cover up for Destiny, do you? You don't think I'm trying to cover up for Destiny, do you?" She said it like 5 different times, maybe 4 times. And it just came out of the nowhere almost all the time she said it. And it's like she's trying to convince Tom that she's not doing it. So we still talking about the man with the chafed rectum. Chafed rectum. Jesus fucking Christ. On that note, it's about time I start wrapping up this stream. But we are finishing this up. And before I forget, guys, again, if you weren't here at the beginning, I don't know if Legatus is still here, but I will get the link real quick. Give me Oh, I need to go dig it up. Give me a moment. I am officially, this is official. This is the official doing it, okay? I'm not going to be dancing around it again. I'm not going to be denying doing this again. This is official, and anybody that says otherwise is retarded, okay? Starting Sunday, okay? Sunday. At about maybe 3 p.m., 4 p.m. I haven't nailed down a final date yet. We're going to be doing Dermy Wormy's Dictation, or Dermy's Dictation, and yes, it's still going to say daily, but it's just it's not daily. We're going to be doing Dermy's Dictation on Sundays on the live channel from now on. If the show gets successful enough, I might make it a daily thing again. I don't know, because I do like streaming a lot. I do enjoy this, but you can't grow a channel just by streaming. But that is going to be where I put a lot of my more live content from now on. I'm going to be moving Saturday Charity over there permanently, not leaving it, not putting it on the main channel. It's going to be permanently on that live channel. It will also be on Twitch and Kick, so you guys can always find it over there every time I go live solo or even for Ballbusters. But yes, that is where I'm going to be moving everything to for the live stuff. Video content is going to be primarily over here, except for Ballbusters. Everything else will be over there from now on. Okay? And I'm doing that mainly for algorithm reasons and stuff like that. Then if there's a good enough conversation out of one of those, I will be clipping it up and I will be putting it up on Dermy Wormy Talks for whatever conversation that goes on there. Sometimes it might even go up on the main channel just to help market everything. But until the next time, guys, thank you all for hanging out. I'm going to turn on Spotify again. My Spotify off? No? Why is my Spotify no make music? Is it too low? Might just be too low. We'll move over. Ooh, Lily Cove. Until next time, guys. I was trying to make sure my music was on. I will see you guys all later. Again, Dermy Wormy Live is going to be going over. Dictations are going to be going over on Dermy Wormy Live from now on. And until next time, guys, you've all been fantastic. You've all been amazing. And don't forget to wipe. But bye for now.